And then again on Monday, we're whittling it right on down. And the only two places that you'll visually, I think I started to say this and then I got squirreled. The only two places you're going to be able to visually see us is YouTube and Rumble.
Nice.
That's it.
This is Hulk Hogan, brother, and you're listening to the best of the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
Anna, thank you for this. I can't play it. It's not. Well, maybe. Oh, hold on. Maybe it'll let me play it. Nope. See, it's making me.
I had so much trouble with this article last night.
I know.
Let me try to get something else.
We may just have to read it.
No. Let me try to find something.
But this, I mean, Dan, because your family, more specifically, Stephen and Jay, because you were part of the law firm back then.
Jesus.
And Stephen, really, I mean, Jay okayed.
It was all Stephen.
It was all Stephen. It really was.
It was
I mean,
Stephen's
Jay.
mission.
It was.
Jay signed on because he's, Stephen that said sign on.
Right. and Rob Adams signed on because Stephen said sign on.
Sign on.
Right. The partners at the time was what used to be Rob Adams, Stephen, and Jay. Were they all equal?
Yes.
Okay. But Stephen kind of,
Yeah, he would grab the reins.
Right. Tampa historic Jackson House. So here's what sucks. Thank you, Anna, for that.
Yeah, no worries.
Was that 2011?
Yep, it was that long ago.
So 12, 13 years ago, Stephen Diaco, Dan's middle brother, who we love so very much, he, with my foundation, negotiated with the family. Was it the Morris family? I forget.
That sounds right.
Yeah. And to buy the Jackson House. And we had lined up
with the sole purpose of restoring it.
So I had lined up with a bunch of contractors, Gary Grubbs and cement guys and drywall guys and foundation guys and electrical guys, and Fabrizi was doing the roofing. And I had lined up with Cox Lumber and just me like 4 or 5 different places for materials.
Nice.
And we purchased the home. It was the Dan, if you remember right, we had the purchase agreement. I mean, it was I think we paid $106,000 for the property. And we had a plan, and we were going to restore the Jackson House. And the one thing that we were going to do, just not restore it to to what it looks like, but we were going to make the downstairs. It's a very big house. Make the downstairs kind of a museum of what that house represented and all the influential African American people, from Martin Luther King to Ray Charles to James Brown, to just a lot of influential, very important, very great African Americans back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, when they would come to Tampa. A lot of times they couldn't stay, and they were performing in Tampa. They weren't allowed to stay in a regular hotel. They had to
stay at the Jackson House.
So it was very historically. It's a historical site nonetheless already, and we were going to restore the bottom and make it a museum to all the influential people that had came and had stayed there, what it represented to the community, the original owners, a really nice museum of what it represented, what this home represented to Tampa, Florida. Then upstairs, we had gotten with 5 different law firms, ranging from criminal to tickets to Dan, we had 5 different specific portions of the law, family law, criminal law,
civil
law,
real estate.
We had 5 different ones.
Florida Stanley, $10 on the super chat.
Thank you, buddy. We and Steve and Jay and Rob, through being very, very well, and I think Morgan & Morgan was one of them. And we had obviously Adams and Diaco was going to be one of them. I think Kevin was going to be. I think we got 5 very, very influential law firms to set up offices upstairs and do pro bono work for the African American community. And they were going to have, each office was going to be there 1 or 2 days a week. 1 or 2 days a week to process and start representing African Americans in legal things, legal matters, from criminal to child, family law, to real estate stuff. Just, we had 5 different firms already committed, and each firm was going to finish out. We were going to leave the top structurally sound, and then each firm was going to finish out the way they wanted their office to look. And it was just going to be one little office, but that's all they need to see people. And Bob Buckhorn, the mayor of Tampa, Democrat, hates me.
And obviously hated the project.
Hates me. And the reason why he hates me is because when he was running for, when he was a part of the city council and not the mayor, I lit him up because he came up with the dumbest law ever. Might be the dumbest law that it might be the dumbest, law that Tampa as a city has ever come up with. And it might be the one that was most quickly discarded and not enforced.
Except for it was embraced by the world.
And laughed at.
10 years later.
Laughed at. And it was a 10-foot.
6 foot.
I'm sorry. A 6 foot lap dancing distance.
It was the first I ever heard of social distancing.
Right. And it was based on lap dancing at gentlemen's clubs. So if you were going to get a dance from a girl, she couldn't, kind of sit on your lap or, rub your legs or anything like that. She had to be from me to Lummy or from Lummy to Anna to give you your dance.
Nice. Because genital warts can only jump 5 feet.
Right. It was all because of STDs. And a guy's like, man, if I got my jeans on and a girl's got an STD and it goes through her panties and through my jeans, that's a pretty strong strand. I think we got bigger issues than distance, right? Mm-hmm. So the mayor, I don't know who the mayor of Tampa was at the time.
It's Dick Greco.
It might have been. And they came up with these task force where these undercover police officers would go into clubs and get and they were hauling 10, 15 girls a night in. And the community finally said, come on. You're earmarking these resources to bust strippers that aren't prostituting, that aren't selling drugs, that are just giving lap dances. I think our resources are better served by, patrolling the streets and trying to get the real bad guys out there. So it lasted about maybe 6 to 8 months. And then it just went away. I don't even know that it's even a law anymore. Is it, Lummy?
I'm looking it up right now. It doesn't look like it is a law anymore.
Yeah. So Bob Buckhorn hated me. He's the mayor at the time that we tried to purchase the Jackson House, and he quickly, I think, Lummy, we even have some audio of him calling me an idiot.
Yes.
And internal emails of him calling me a buffoon and an idiot, maybe even a fat ass. And he was bound and determined not to let me have this. And so he can't deny the sale per se, but we come in to close. We're literally, Steve's like, listen, as soon as you get off your show at 11 o'clock, meet me at, our at Adams and Diaco. We're closing. We're closing on this property today with the family. The title company's all there. You know how closings are, Dan. We're going to do it.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of moving parts that have to be all coordinated.
And we had to have the city's approval. So the city at 10:30 sends Jay over their conditions of approval. And it was just the most unfair, ridiculous. They're like, okay. And we had to submit our construction plans, and we had to submit our timeline on getting things done. We had to submit our partners that we were dealing with. We had to submit the 5 law firms that we were dealing with. We had a lot of things we had to submit. Well, we gave estimated time frames. Okay, we think we'll have the foundation shored up by, in 4 months. And we think at that point, we'll start coming in and structurally redoing all the I-beams and, all that kind of deal.
Not good enough.
No. So they said, okay, that's all fine. But the minute, if let's say, Dan, we said June 10th is going to be the day we have our foundation done. They were going to fine us $500 a day every day after our deadline. Well, if everybody knows that job sites can be changed by weather, supply issues. Just like, I mean, you can't lay concrete when it's raining.
And it's Florida. Good luck.
I mean, right. So like if you have a structural hard date of June 10th and you have your last, 40, 50 yards of concrete to lay and it rains for 3 straight days, well, your June 10th deadline might get pushed back to June 17th. It's usually not a problem in normal construction. It's not. It's usually not a problem. Now, if you go on years and years and you're working for the DOT in the state of Florida, but really the city had nothing to do with this. They didn't own it. And
no, it was absolutely outrageous that they put their neck into it so much because they didn't own it. They had no financial interest in it. The reason they were being draconian is because they want it.
Well, here's
they want the land. They want to eminent domain it.
And then so the Jackson House, having been in disarray for at that point almost 20 years. Decades. At that point, when we tried to buy it in 2011, it'd been dilapidated for nearly 20 years.
Yep.
And had continued to rack up fines, because the city had to put a fence around it, and it just, the city issues you have to get it up to code and things like that. Well, the Morris family, or whoever owned it at the time, had racked up like $51,000 of fines. And so in the 11th hour at 10:30, 30 minutes before we're going to close, Bob Buckhorn comes up with $500 a day penalty for every day you don't meet your timeline, and you must clear up the $51,000 in fines. Meanwhile, the city attorney had told us that they were going to waive the fines because we're doing something good, right? Like we're going to do something, and we start with a clean slate. And so we're like, there's no way we can sign that contract. There's no way that we're going to sign that contract. And so they screwed us. They absolutely screwed us. And it's been dilapidated. And
ever since.
It's for 13 years now. It was going to take us 36 months, a little bit longer than normal construction, just because we were relying on trades that, we're going to donate their time. A lot of our construction was going to be on the weekend, and it was going to take 3 years. We had a 36-month. So when did we try it? In 2011 or 12?
About that, yes.
So by 2015, we would have had the Jackson House would have been restored, been a museum, and helping African Americans legally now, going on 9 or 10 years, had they just sold it to us.
No, but the Democratic mayor destroyed the plans, submarined the whole project, and for a personal vendetta. And instead of helping the African American community in that area, they have just completely spit in their face, kept this eyesore there, have prevented anyone else from doing anything good because they want the land. They don't want it to be restored. They want the land so they can sell it, take eminent domain, or make it parking garages or some other crap that we don't need more of downtown.
Here is, of course I gotta get the pre-roll. Really, sorry about that. But they don't even mention me in this article.
They only place people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ray Charles, and James Brown could stay when they visited Tampa. The historic black boarding house known as Jackson House, though, has sat dilapidated for years downtown. However, efforts to restore it may now be getting closer to becoming reality. Fox 13's Jordan Bowen with us now. Jordan spoke today to the foundation who's leading that restoration effort. We've been covering this for a couple of years. Their hope is to eventually turn it into a museum, right?
Yeah, that's right, Chris, and they hope to do that before.
But Dan, they're going to turn it into a museum, but they weren't going to do. I mean, museum doesn't do anything to the African American community.
Nope, just makes parking more difficult.
Right.
Before it's too late. The house is in such bad condition, the restoration architect has said it couldn't survive a major storm. There are still some roadblocks.
Let me see if you can find me the article when I'm going to buy it. I mean, the video, if you can, okay?
Yeah, I've been trying to look for
in a way
the
that could take some time to overcome, but the foundation says this is the closest they've ever come to restoring it. Ella Fitzgerald, Martin Luther King Jr., James Brown, and Ray Charles. All of them relied on Jackson House. It was the only place visiting African Americans could stay. It's all thanks to the Jackson family who opened up their home.
That was their focus. How do we provide economic opportunity for our family that will benefit the city?
The home sits at 851 Zack Street, right on the outskirts of downtown Tampa. Today, it's fenced off and barely standing with rotting boards and shattered windows. Inside, support beams have been added to keep it intact.
This house rebuilt provides for young people self-esteem, encouragement, knowledge of who they are, who they can be, and where they can go, and how they can do it as a community, as a team together.
Isn't it unbelievable, Dan, how I get painted as such the prick and the bad guy? They're not even talking about the fact that that me and your family tried to buy this 10 years ago.
Well, that would be giving the other side some credit. So
that's what we're trying to do now.
Carolyn Collins with the Jackson House Foundation has been working to restore it, but it hasn't been easy. The building needs easements on both sides to meet the fire code and maintain historical preservation. It would mean taking 10 to 15 feet of land from the neighboring parking lot owned by 717 Parking. Something the
big deal. 10 to 15.
Do you know how much that guy is worth? The 717, like millions and millions. He bought all that property downtown in the late 90s. And it's gone up about 5 times in value. So him shaving off
and all he does
10 feet
is charge for parking.
That's all he does, and he's an Italian guy, and it's borderline
extortion,
organized crime the way it's run, and he is draconian, and he's not going to shave off his 10 feet because he doesn't care.
We're waiting on it, and we're, I think, closer than we've ever been before, because at one point it looked like it was going to be no, and then we got some, well, let's see if we could do it this way, and we're back to, okay, let's go to the table and see what we can do.
Well,
so far, the foundation has raised
how about in 2011 when we had an actual buyer's contract?
$3 million to pay for the restoration.
Hold on.
Which will cost around
They've raised somebody's clip in here. They've raised $2.5 million. I think Jeffrey Vinnick put $1 million in.
He put $1.6 million in.
$5 million. But Collins says it'll cost another $1.6 million to make it into a museum. If they can't get 717 Parking to agree to the easements, there is another option for restoration.
What are you going to say, Dan?
They don't need an easement to finish the restoration. You don't need an easement. That thing was already on a property with an easement. It's just got to be grandfathered into the current easement.
Or you get with the 717 guy and say, listen,
I need 10 feet.
Or you give it to someone and say, you know what, sell me, rent me a month enough so I can put parking in here. Just rent it to me. Okay? And and we would have bought it through my 501c3. It's a tax write-off.
So it's already turning into a $4 million project, Bubba. We could have done this thing for $500,000 or less.
We had it budgeted for $650,000, including purchase price, which was been $5. It would have
$500,000 plus the purchase, pretty much.
Right. It was $108,000 plus $500,000.
Restoration, but it would likely cost more.
We believe they're going to do it, and if not, we're going to build it without the easement, making the adjustments that we really do not want to make.
And we did make attempts to get in touch with 717 Parking for comment, but our calls went unanswered. Cullen says the foundation is back to doing their regularly scheduled meetings after a brief pause, and says she's confident they'll have plans more finalized come July. So we'll be sure to keep you guys posted on what happens here.
Yeah, it sounds like they've moved them from no to maybe so. Let's make it happen. So that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Again, they're going to just drag their feet, take their pictures, pat themselves on the back, and nothing's going to get done, and they're going to blow $3-4 million of wasted money for a dead end. It's not going to happen because there's too many clowns trying to coordinate this.
Shock Jock Bubba the Love Sponge pulls the plug on the plan to renovate the Jackson roaming house in downtown because of city-imposed deadlines and expenses. Hold on here. Boom. Great find on this. Hold on.
Bubba the Love Sponge pulled the plug today on his plan to buy and renovate the historic Jackson rooming house in downtown Tampa. Our Brendan McLaughlin was there for the announcement. And Brendan, why the change of heart here?
Well, Jameson, Todd Clem, known as Bubba to his radio audience, said the city of Tampa imposed unreasonable deadlines and expenses on his proposal to restore the Jackson house, so he's out. He also claims city officials, including the mayor, were determined to see him fail.
That's here?
Yeah.
Nice. This isn't any of us, by the way.
Good job, ABC.
Good job, ABC.
Well, we have $8,000 of fines that have to be paid. And just gave me some outrageous demands that I can't meet.
The Jackson Rooming House put up African-American visitors to Tampa during the time of segregation, many of whom went on to fame and fortune. But the city says they now have to make sure the building is made structurally secure.
Look how much better the building looked back then.
Yeah.
Before it falls down on the right-of-way.
Look at, I mean, like, for real.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we were able to do it. That's why we were able to fix it for $500,000. Because
possibly
it was
causing damage or injury. How much time are you willing to give him to do that?
We said we'd give him 6 months, which is what he asked for. But we also said that we need benchmarks and we need to know when things are going to happen.
City Attorney Julia Mandel says many of the requirements were well known to all parties long before Monday, and everything was negotiable.
If you don't like this, tell us what you will live with.
As for the code violation,
look how nice that. I mean, look.
It looks like people were still being able to go in it.
I mean, they still had chairs.
It was habitable. It had intact windows. It was sealed off from the outside.
Right.
It was still a structure that was viable to restore.
Right.
and fines, Mandel says most could be waived after the improvements are made. But the root of the disagreement may be the animosity between Mayor Bob Buckhorn and the area's dominant radio personality.
Exactly. At least they got it right.
Buckhorn famously called Bubba, quote, a complete moron in an email made public in 2012. Bubba then threatened political revenge.
Unfortunately, Brendan, I think this has turned into a kind of a personal vendetta.
Bubba went on to suggest that Bob Buckhorn is ignoring the black voters who supported his election and that he may have designed...
Look how
That's
nice.
way better.
Dan, look at that.
I know.
That's what it looked like then?
That's what, yeah, when Steve was ready to stroke that check. That's what it looked like.
Be a national news story if somebody fixed it up like that nowadays.
And they let this happen.
Yep.
The city of Tampa was so blinded by their hatred to you that they completely shot themselves and shot the African American community in the foot by not letting this happen. And instead of making a project that was super viable, could have been done probably in a year, they've let this drag out for 11 years, created a 4 to 5 times more expensive problem, and it's still not going to happen because they want that land. They're not going to let this go forward. They want the land. They're going to start giving this BS easement argument.
You know what they want?
More parking.
No, yes, but they want a big-ass storm to finally do it in.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're out clean.
Right.
You know
they're
what I'm
hoping
saying?
for a hurricane.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't have their little undercover guys going in the middle of the night with some saws. Their undercover big reds going in there and cutting foundation, I-beams and stuff, so that making it that less structurally sound, so that when a 40-mile-an-hour whip-up Willie comes up, that thing's down.
Mm-hmm.
For a downtown ballpark or other project. The mayor declined to comment, but...
These are the same mayors that were targeting black kids on bicycles. These are the same mayors that have done nothing to improve the African-American community in Tampa and the outskirts of downtown. The only thing they've done to help the African-Americans in Tampa is restored parts of Seminole Heights. Other than that, they've turned their faces and turned their heads against them.
Look at the porch.
And it's a good thing we got all that super expensive housing where the projects used to be. I mean, that's helping a lot of people out as well.
Yeah.
His office said those claims were baseless. Bubba the Love Sponge, meanwhile, maintains his effort all along has been sincere.
This is not a PR stunt. This is not a shock jock deal. We're not trying to burn any Korans. We're not trying to get any type of news
stuff we used to do.
We're trying to do something right, and he thwarted it all. All we needed was for the city to be proud of this project and to work with us.
Bubba's other big announcement was this. Assuming the property will now be demolished, he and his investors say they're going to pay the owner, Willie Robinson, $100,000. That's the appraised value of the property, and pay for the demolition costs.
Yeah, well...
Hey, you ever seen a wealthy person or...
Hold on.
No.
Dr. Dan.
Yeah, I see one every day. Yeah, we were going to, at that point, they called him Bulldozer Bob, and, Bob Buckhorn had publicly said that he wants to knock it over. And we were going to say, okay, you screwed us over, but we'll pay for the demolition fees nonetheless to help the guy out. Well, instead, they're like, whoa, hold on. We're not going to demo it. We're just going to keep kicking this can down the road. And what happens if it does fall over and the $3.5 million that's been collected, where does that go? Does Jeffrey Vinnick get his $1.5 million back? Like, if this whole project gets scrapped, what happens?
No.
Where does that money go?
Back. It just goes into the abyss of charitable donations, just like where all the Red Cross money went for Haiti. It goes into nowhere land.
Yeah, where did all the Red Cross money for Haiti.
Where all the BLM donations do for the charitable foundation BLM. I mean, you see what happened then. She paid her brother over $1 million for security. They took personal loan.
Bought how many houses?
Bought a bunch of houses. They just lived off that money. They gave nothing to the African American community. So what they did was they used the African American community. They stoked white shame and white guilt to generate millions and millions of dollars of contributions, and all they did was steal from the corporation and the organization and lived high and fat themselves for years under the auspices of ignorance. Oh, I didn't know what the law was. And
I am running for mayor in 3.5 years. Woo! I am. I'm just going to go ahead and declare myself right now. And Dan, I'm going to have to move into the carriage house about a year before.
Deal.
Because I have to have a
reinforce the railings.
Right.
Safe.
That's going to be my permanent residency.
It's got its own address.
Yeah, it does?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Is it just Suite B?
Mm-mm. It's got a really weird address off of Adams Street.
No, it's not even.
No, they didn't say Bayshore. Say something else.
I'm going to be living on it. I'm going to be living on Adams Street.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Be part of the Adams family.
And I'm going to be like, hey man, I'm going to run my whole campaign on, hey, the way the city has treated this Jackson House is the same way they've treated African Americans and other good people of this town. They don't care about you. It's all special interest ran by 3 or 4 people. It's a joke. This town is a joke.
We're going to highlight you, put you in this little square, and then ignore you.
Yeah. It's just
keep
a
you down.
joke. Tampa's a joke.
They've been doing to the black community in Tampa what they've done to the Jackson House. They put a big shining light on it and they let it rot.
Why bother with broadcasting excellence when you can have broadcasting decadence instead? The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Bubba the Love Sponge. All day, every day.
I'm an FTE.
Full tractor effect.
You're my savior.
I listen to it in the morning and at night. It keeps me awake all night driving that big rig down the road.
Bubba the Love Sponge. We love you, brother.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
You missed a Craig and Amy Lummy when you were gone, so I thought I'd get them for you.
Thank you.
Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at The Bubba Army, or you could just go to our YouTube, which is at The Bubba Army, and watch all our videos. That didn't cost you nothing. Subscribe, get notifications. Again, that's free. And watch some of the cool stuff. That puts a few little dollars in our pockets. Thanks. Appreciate it. Monday, visually, of course, terrestrially, Florida Man Radio, Fort Walton Beach, Phoenix, Melbourne, Orlando, Tampa. You'll be able to hear us terrestrially at your leisure. AM 820 here in Tampa, the Big Gorilla, the Big Ape. But you can also get us on Bubba Army Radio, the Bubba Army app, the TuneIn app. But also, we'll be live visually on Facebook and on YouTube and on Rumble only. Both at the Bubba Army. Again, both at the Bubba Army. YouTube and Rumble only. We will then figure out where the after shows go. Right, Lummy? Something like that.
Yes.
Creatine Travis said he's good with bringing some 14 SEER R38.
Yes.
Okay. Continuing the Andrew Tate stuff, I think this guy is completely getting railroaded. And, so he's a bad boy. Since when's it been illegal to be a bad boy? Now, again, I can't get into necessarily the charges. I hope that the judicial system, wherever he gets tried at, is far more fair than this interview. Because this interview sucks. This woman sucks.
Police to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I said.
It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that...
Again, spoken word shouldn't be illegal.
You don't really care about the harm it causes. Because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
I've made a lot of money making I got fined $755,000 by the U.S. government, the largest one-time single FCC violation.
Word.
And they're not hemming me. Well, I guess they did hem me up.
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the...
Is he tall?
Yeah.
Instruction of God to do good things. And I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy. And I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money. Because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs. Or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you could make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website.
Again, he makes an interesting point, the fact that what's the difference between the crazy stuff that he says online that attracts a lot of followers or a rap guy that sells, 10 million downloads or streams or
talking about popping caps in people's
popping
asses.
caps and having sex with hoes and baby mamas and shooting just like there's no difference. It's art. It's art and entertainment is what it is.
Website.
He didn't have a cult. He's not Jim Jones. He's not having anybody drink any Kool-Aid. Please.
They pay to learn how to.
This has to be the dumbest bitch I've ever seen.
Be like you.
I mean, I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke.
Yeah, jokes are funny. Jokes, kid.
Are you saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage.
Remember when they tried to do that to Marilyn Manson, and they tried to do it to Dee Snider? Remember, they actually
that was after,
they actually brought Dee Snider up in front of Congress.
That was after Columbine, wasn't it?
Well, Dee Snider, I think, was before.
Did they have songs about shooting up schools? Or?
No, well, I don't know when Dee Snider was, if it was before or after Columbine, but Marilyn Manson had, some songs that were controversial, and Dee Snider, had like an we're not going to take it, and they actually, we've been through this little spat, but it was about 20 years ago, where we would bring up, rock artists and things like that in front of Congress and try to hem them up on their lyrics, and it's art.
And get them blamed for violence on the streets.
Well, that's where the explicit label started. It actually started with Luther Campbell and the 2 Live crew on Pop That Kitty, Pop That Kitty.
Huh.
And Luther Campbell got, I don't know how many millions of dollars he lost in legal fees defending himself. And then it finally, art prevailed nonetheless.
But you just needed that explicit label.
And they came up, they're like, okay, listen, we can't hem you up on lyrics necessarily.
So that's a free speech deal.
But we can make your album have to have, these explicit warnings. 33 years ago, Dee Snider single-handedly humiliated Congress for the whole world to see. Lummi, is there?
Right there.
Oh yeah.
Nice
So
hair.
Anna, we've had our spout of this, so to speak.
Sure. And continue to.
And Dee's a friend of mine.
I know.
Committee is having a hearing on censorship with the PMRC and wanted to know if I would come and speak. Now, my view of it, when I heard it, was they want me to carry the flag into battle. Hell yeah. Braveheart, baby. Braveheart wasn't even out, but that sort of mentality. Give me the fucking flag, man. Let's go. Yeah. I knew that they were, like everybody else, grossly underestimating me. I knew that they viewed me
as just some dumb rocker. They didn't realize.
Is he from Jersey or something?
Yeah, he is. And they didn't. But they just thought he was the personality that they see on stage, some rock guy who gets high till, and passes out in a ditch, and
wears
then
makeup.
They just wake up right before the show. But really, he's a very, very well-spoken, intelligent guy. He really is. And he handed their ass to him.
As just another dunderheaded rocker.
Yep, that's all they thought.
And they would bring me in, make me look like a fool, and I would help their cause. They did not know.
And I think, Lummi, he owned them.
Yeah.
But then I could construct a sentence and speak English fluently. And I'm there in my cut-off denim, my skin-tight jeans, my snakeskin boots, and a little bit of eye makeup left on.
And Anna, he kind of over the topped it just because it was a dog and pony show.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So
what year is this? Sorry.
This is 33 years ago. So let me what year?
Well, this article is written a little, but it says 1985.
So this was 85. I don't think you were even born yet, were you?
No, I'm 87.
And my big hair, and I ain't getting dressed up for nobody.
You were in your dad's ball sack.
Sure was. Half.
I'm a dirtbag, and I'm proud. And I'm playing these people like
he is. He played.
Mentally, I'm setting these guys up for the kill.
I remember I was in Terre Haute, Indiana, And I remember watching it on MTV News, and not a lot of the news media wouldn't cover it because he owned them so bad. Like a lot of major news outlets, and at that time there was only 3 or 4. I don't even think Fox was around yet. I think it was CBS, ABC, and NBC. Maybe with a UPI and an API kicker. A lot of them didn't even cover it because he owned them so bad.
I have got my speech
That's a perm,
in the back
right?
pocket,
Yeah.
which I have worked on for a few weeks and honed and refined till it's a freaking nuclear weapon. Folded up like a gazillion times, like a bad kid bringing his homework to school. I open it up and I'm flattening it out on the table, really deliberate. And they're going.
So I had a beef with D back in the day because I replaced him in Hartford. And then when I went on Howard and him were good friends, and Howard was always looking for conflict.
Sure.
So when I would go up there and do a week worth of, I had to go up there and do a week worth of radio every 8 weeks. He arranged for me to come in on the morning show and have a debate with D, and we didn't like each other. And by the end of the day, we were a couple little bitches for each other. We're like, man, we're pretty, we ended up being each other's friends. And I was I was trying to be Johnny Hardass. That's when I was in shape too, Lummy, 260, 250.
You're ready to
jacked
fight him?
up. And I was ready to, I was really thinking I was going to fight him. And then I sized him.
Out.
He's a big dude.
He's 6'1".
Oh yeah, Anna, he's a bit, I don't know if I would have been on the
winning side of that?
on the good end of that deal. I mean, D, I'm just going to be honest with you. D might have handed my fat ass to me. And I remember telling Brent, hey, Brent, we might want to change position. We were in the green room. We were in the green room, and D walked by. I go, hey, Brent, have you seen how big he is? Plus, Ani, he had his
he looks big though.
Plus, he had his rock boots on too, so he was.
He added an extra couple inches.
6'5". And I was like, we might want to just kind of
Well, I don't know if you could take 6'1", but you could probably take 6'1" in heels.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a good dude. He's a real good dude.
Yeah, he seems like it.
Hey, Lummy, reach out to D and let's see if we can kind of have him on.
All right.
Yeah.
But, oh man, this is a lamb being brought to the slaughter.
Oh yeah, and these politicians, man, they thought, oh my God, we're gonna own.
Was it a
this
specific
dude.
song?
It was. I don't know if it was "We're Not Gonna Take It" or.
And I'm sorry, they were trying to pin what on him precisely?
Just a bad message to youth.
But it wasn't like a specific event.
He's poisoning our youth.
Yeah,
it was the Satanic Panic. It was just same umbrella as all that other stuff.
It was the group that Tipper Gore.
Oh, they're singing in all these rock songs,
sexual lyrics. And
Satanic Panic.
I didn't know if it was like a specific event.
No.
Okay.
You seem to be the only person addressing this committee today who has been a direct target of accusations from the presumably responsible PMRC. I would like
the PMRC were like the Parents
Music Resource Center.
Hey Alexa, what was the PMRC?
From loudwire.com. The PMRC, or the Parents Music Resource Center, was founded in 1985 by a group of women including Tipper Gore with the intention of increasing parental control over children's consumption of music.
Yeah. Anna, what country do we live in? Really? Mm-hmm. For real?
I'd like to use this occasion to speak on a more personal note and show just how unfair the whole concept.
Some stupid group that the vice president's wife put together, all just to watch myself.
Of lyrical interpretation and judgment can be, and how many times this can amount to little more than character assassination.
And I am just tearing apart everything that they've accused me of, disproving beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything they've accused me of has been wrong, false, and they are scrambling. They were saying that Under the Blade was about sadomasochism and bondage. It was about my guitar player's throat operation.
It's not really a wild leap of the imagination to jump to the conclusion that that's about something other than surgery or hospitals, neither of which are mentioned in the song.
No, it's not a wild jump, and I think what I said in one part was that songs allow a person to put their own imagination, experiences, and dreams into the lyrics. People can interpret it many ways. Ms. Gore was looking for sadomasochism and bondage, and she found it. Someone looking for surgical references would have found it as well.
Love it.
Call her a strictly McNasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I said, I can't help that Tipper Gore's got a dirty mind, and Al Gore just, oh my God.
Oh yeah, Al Gore flipped out.
Really jumped over the table. They were saying, we're not going to take it. It should be on the filthy 15 for violence. And it was no more violent than the Declaration of Independence.
The filthy 15.
The filthy 15. Back to the Tate deal here. This is what he's going through right now, though. Now, set aside the potential criminal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Set aside that. You can't merge the two. You can't. Let's talk about if this old block rocking, no makeup wearing, Ozempic face bitch, Great Britain bitch with bad teeth.
She's probably hot like 20 years ago.
Wants to talk to him about specifically the charges that these 7 women that have levied against him, which I can't form an opinion because I have not seen the complaint or any evidence, but it sounds like kind of a
screw job.
It sounds like hey, this guy's now popular and he had us over, a year ago and he's got some money now. Let's shake him right down to zero. Sounds like that to me. But let's set that aside. But to have an interview with this guy and try to hold him accountable for his opinions that he has said or broadcast or tweeted, being a bad influence on anybody for that matter, anybody. Is nonsense. Like, it's absolutely, like, what year are we in? I mean, like, we're going backwards. We're going backwards with regards to, art and freedom of expression. I mean, if I tell you, hey, Lummy, today when you go home, I want you to drive 150 mile an hour and go head into a bridge.
Okay.
I don't really mean it. You shouldn't do it. You should be smart enough to realize that I'm just being over the top.
When I say things, I don't mean them, I lie.
Completely disingenuous.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my greatest statements at all. When I say things, I don't mean them, I lie. I'm an entertainer.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
When I say things, I don't mean them, I lie. I'm an entertainer. That's what entertainers do. We dance, my friend. Jokes. Hyperbole.
It makes you money.
The reason, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising
Doesn't
the fact,
it worry you?
praising the fact that their sons are listening to me.
Does it not
praising
worry you?
the fact that their
The things I'm saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry. It would
Are you not
worry.
concerned?
I wish my son would listen to him. Man up a little bit.
About your influence.
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world, you have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is not the same man she wants him to be, when thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well, then I would say
I've presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No.
It is nothing. In the overall scheme of of how big his following is, it is nothing. You're 15 to 20 excerpts of some stupid people that don't understand what Andrew Tate's shtick is and how he rolls and the character that he plays and the swagger that he's trying to just the whole shooting match of Andrew Tate, because 20, 30, 40 people that you've been able to hand pick don't like him. How about the percentage of people that do?
Right.
The millions and hundreds of millions that say, hell yeah, hustler.
What you have done is come here with an agenda.
You've cherry-picked, bitch. Get out of here, out of my house.
You've come here with loaded questions. You've come here with things taken out of context. You come here with things that you don't understand are satirical. And then you're going to also
I think I'm going to start being meaner and being more like him, I think. Maybe that's what we need.
He's not mean.
And say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that.
Sarcastic, and jokes.
No.
That's how you explain the comments you make.
Yeah. You know what, bitch? You got one thing right today. That. That's what he should say. You got one thing right today, other than showing your ass out yourself or having my bodyguards escort you out of here. That's exactly how I roll. Those 3 things you just said. That's the only smart thing that's come out of that hole of yours that you call a mouth, you gutter mouth bitch. Oh, sorry.
Just sit down.
Bubba Tate.
Would you like to apologize for any of them?
For you to sit down, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes.
Schools.
Or whatever your argument is.
Police.
And that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car. Is just disingenuous. If you actually watch the things I say, if you actually watch my comments about women, I've done long...
Instead of taking short little things out of context, I think he's going to say, I've done long-form monologues about pro-women.
Podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Now, again, I'd like to see the other stuff.
Sure.
That they're talk to the guy about that. That's what you talk to him about. You don't talk to him about one dude who's a pussy, and his girlfriend's now reporting back, which it's Sophia, I guess. It could be some fake bitch. Should be some fake bitch. It's reporting back that after having watched the Andrew Tate show or whatever the hell he watched from that her boyfriend no longer wants to do the dishes. That's ridiculous. What are we back in 1986? Dee Snider with a Marilyn Manson kicker? Give me a break. Get out of here, bitch. Don't forget Monday. Only way you're going to be able to watch yourself, is on Rumble and YouTube. We're paring it all down. We thought more was better, but Lummy had a big-ass Zoom call with a Rhett Kicker and the Ginger and Lummy, along with the person that they talked to.
Oh, Macho was listening in too. Yeah.
Macho, do you agree? I mean, can you put down the barbells and do you agree with this reasoning?
His mic isn't on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What the guy said made sense. Yeah.
All right, perfect. That's all I needed. Thank you, Macho.
Back to biceps. He's not part of the solution. He's part of the problem. It's Bubba the Love Sponge.
What's going on? Congratulations. There's no remorse and no regret associated with anything they do.
You are refreshingly vulgar.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
we have a
10 minutes ago, it was never bring this up on the air. Well, guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't want to talk about it on
I'm just
there.
going to tell you, we have a rap problem.
My spice, baby. My spice, baby.
All right, stop. Set bait and listen. Rats are crawling and they're on a mission. Stealing food daily and nightly. Open up the fridge, one tried to bite me. Will I get caught? I don't know. Turn off the lights, it's a rat chateau. The kitchen looks like it was hit by vandals. Bringing food to work is a gamble. Splat! When the traps go boom, the AC vents will be their tomb. Rat problem, Big Red's gonna solve it. They found his Hall of Fame bust and mauled it.
My spice, baby.
I got traps up. I got glue traps up.
My spice,
I got Big Red on the deal. I got the merch crick on the deal.
My spice, baby.
They're so good that they can get in and get out and not get smashed.
Yep.
My spice, baby.
Yeah, they get smart.
Over the traps they're hopping. In the kitchen cabinets they leave droppings. Bubba can't hide it, there's no faking. If you leave food out, it'll get taken. Ozempic makes him eat less, but the rats ate his weight in Cheez-Its. Chewed through Jay's microphone wire. When he tried talking, it started a fire. Filthy! They came from the dumpster, now they're in the studio drinking Monster. Love me! Thinks they can be tamed. He already gave each one of them names. It's hard for him not to form a bond. There's more rats in the walls than fish in the pond. The Goat Report is fun on Sunday. Now they resort to Mousetrap Monday.
So we got rats, and they're eating the Cheez-Its and ketchup packets.
They eat all of your Nutter Butters.
2
Oh,
cases of them. 2 cases.
Not that you would eat them anymore.
How do they eat 2 cases of Nutter Butters?
Yes.
But I don't want you to take it the wrong way.
Uh-oh.
Because you are, you get inside your own head a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, well, your whole life is like you inside.
Are you kicking me off the after show?
How did you know?
I don't know. Brian's here, and you're like, will you be here for the after show? Promise to be here. I really want you to stay. I'm like, uh-oh. He's trying to kick me off for whatever reason.
Well,
why is that? Are you going to talk about sports? Are you going to talk about me?
Well, wow. I think I take back that you're in your own head. You're in my head, bitch. My God,
Are you doing a sports show with Brian?
No, I was thinking about because, you put in an extra show than we all do on Fridays.
Yeah.
And Brian's here, and I do have some sports to talk about. And
I feel like this is a trap.
Well, no,
because then if I accept to leaving, then it's like, oh, well, you don't really want to stay, do you? No. I do want to stay. I love sports, but I love sports.
No, I don't want you to stay. I'm telling you, I'd like you to leave.
Okay.
Because I think you're going to be bored, and you'd be better served, working on other stuff or going home and taking a nap, living life, whatever, emptying the trash. I don't know. But, like not having to be in here for an extra hour, bored off your mind because we're going to be probably talking about some sports. I was just going to give you the luxury of being able to leave, but I don't think you will leave because you're inside of your head and you think it's me messing with you. So I think I should just tell you to leave.
I don't know how I feel right now.
Well, I just don't want you mad at me. This isn't
Oh,
my
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to give you some time.
I'm just confused because I don't know what the right move is.
The right move is saying, Bubba, absolutely.
I don't want to sound too enthusiastic not to stay because that's also not the move either.
No, but if I'm telling you that I have no problem with you missing today's after show at all, and it's my idea, then how can I ever hold that against you? This isn't a test. Yeah. We're beyond
Sometimes
that.
you forget things you say often, and then you get mad at people in the future for following the directions of your past self.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Was I not the superest cool ever on two things? One, the additional time you requested off.
Yes, you were
that we didn't
very
take
kind.
On. Exactly. And then two, potentially when you might miss Monday.
Yeah.
Was I not super cool by that?
You were super cool, but again,
we're way
I didn't want
past
to take
all
advantage of your coolness because I feel like that piss you off.
But we're way beyond that. We're way beyond that.
All
okay.
right.
So what I'm saying is, if you'd like to, I think you should probably take today's after show off because you're just going to be sitting there like a bump on a log, bored off your mind. And I think that what's cooler than getting
off work early?
Yeah. What's cooler than getting off work early?
I mean, it's super cool. Don't get me wrong, but again, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I don't know what the right move is.
The right move is to accept.
I feel like I've been taking too much time off, so now it's making me anxious.
No.
I missed Thursday. I missed Friday.
And
I missed swinging the bat on whatever day you did that at the Tarpons deal.
You weren't here.
I know, but I missed it. Is what I'm saying.
So listen,
I'm missing everything.
Just take off after the today. You're done at 10, and get. I mean, I literally, Anna, after you do all your whatever the things that you do.
Yeah.
I would be in Gus. I would be in Gus by no later than 10:15, 10:20. Maybe check the trash, do a little couple odds and ends.
I did all that yesterday.
Then
just blast out of here.
I'd have Gus started and warmed up at the last break.
Auto start, even though that's not a thing for my car.
Yeah. So I'd like listen. We're gonna we don't here. I'm gonna do it a little bit.
Could I get it in writing that you're not mad at me if I leave?
What's better than audibly?
Oh, that's true because we have a recording.
Hi, I'm Bubba the Love Sponge. I'm the president and CEO of this Bubba Radio Network thingy. One of my employees is Anna, and we have a couple different facets of the show. We do one show for 4 hours, which is a morning terrestrially syndicated show that's also heard on other platforms, and then we do a 1 to 2 hour uncensored show that's considered the after show. So we do 2 shows a day, and our normal work day is like, for Anna is like 5:55 to like 12:30 or 12. That's Anna's normal work day here. Would you not agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, today I would like for her to take a little bit of time off and get out of the building by 10:05. Because we're going to do an after show that's mostly about sports, and she hates sports and just sits there like a bump on a log. I will not be mad at her. I will never bring it up. I will never throw it in her face. I will never use it against her in any way, shape, or form. Signed, Bubba, Todd, Allen, Clem, the Love Sponge.
Thank you.
So there you go.
Thank you. I'll go home and practice DJing.
Yeah, there you go. Use it as that.
Honestly, because I haven't touched that thing in a minute, so I should probably get back on the one to do.
And here's the deal. You get to be, once a month, once every 6 weeks, we're going to do the DJ hum sauce on Bubba 199s until it sucks. And if you ever pull out a suck, here's some case law for you to absorb.
Okay.
Some Bubba law. If you want me to revert back to me being a little bit dick and mean to you, so you're afraid.
Yeah. That feels like home.
Your first DJ hum sauce, you nailed it. You made good money.
Oh,
it
no.
was great. But with DJ hum sauce ever's not so good, then I have the right to cancel DJ hum sauce.
Oh, no. I did too well on my first one.
Well, no.
Because now I don't know if I could ever live up to that.
Bull crap. If you went home the next 2 days and practiced, you would. You'd be fine.
All right.
So I'm giving you the after show off for you to go practice for Friday.
For tomorrow.
Okay?
Yep.
In fact, it's not even time. I'm not even giving you time off. I'm just reassigning from being on the air to practicing.
To on the decks.
From being on the air to being on the decks.
But make a video of yourself practicing content, please.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, too, So
just saying content.
It's actually Bubba 199 with a Dan Diaco birthday kicker. Did you hear, Brian, that his wife's going to be here?
I heard it was mandated. If she's not here, he's not invited.
Right. Well, I wonder if we should ever do a Bubba 199 around your birthday.
When's your birthday?
We wouldn't make any money.
Was it in February?
Valentine's Day.
That's right.
No.
We wouldn't make any money, Lummy.
Nope. They turn on us.
In fact, you guys would probably lose money somehow.
Yeah.
To the deal.
Yeah. It'd be the Bubba 199 that got us canceled.
We get banned in the middle of the show.
So so you guys know Tuesday we were talking about pooping, and we had this big poop caper here. Anna also sent me this story. This story about a guy who does artwork with his poop.
Oh.
Not his poop. It's cow manure.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That makes it far less.
I mean, it's still gross, but less.
But I think
it's actually pretty good.
I think cow manure isn't nearly as toxic smelling.
I don't know.
Isn't cow's
bad?
It's bad.
Isn't cow manure more organic than human manure?
Why
it's better. It's better fertilizer, yes, because I think it has higher nitrogen in it or something like that.
Because they eat more.
It's the
grass.
The grass, yeah. But I don't know exactly why. I'm not.
Well, you never noticed they can't fertilize with human poop, but you can fertilize with animal poop, right? I don't think fertilizer that they use for crops is based out of human poop at all.
No.
Do they use? Well, don't they use? Doesn't the city of Milwaukee or something?
I'm sure they're trying
grind up their poop, and it's a very big, huge fertilizer.
I think we looked that up before.
We did look it up before. I mean, let me ask. Hey, Alexa, can you use human poop for fertilizer?
From calendaruk.co.uk. Human poo can be used as a compost to help fertilize soil so that crops can grow. The product is known as biosolids.
This says, though, you have to process it a lot because otherwise...
I just can't take it right out of your ass and put it on my strawberries.
Right, because it has disease-causing pathogens. And so it's got unprocessed human feces cannot be used.
Yeah, and some of my poop.
Oh, that was in Haiti. That was in Haiti.
What do you mean?
I think that's where we saw where they were like collecting poop and then using it to farm.
No, they do it in Milwaukee though. Bubba's right.
Okay, but we did watch
But they probably process the heck out of it.
Yeah, they do.
They're pretty good.
I mean, the art is good. I just wish you would have used brown paint instead of poop.
And let's face it, in Milwaukee, it's all just cheese curds and beer that's coming out of it anyways.
All right, so
But why is he using feces? Like there's paint. You don't have to use crap.
Because Brian, guess what, Brian?
Avant-garde.
He's not going to get a zillion clicks on a story that says this guy can draw you a real cool-looking bull with brown paint, but he gets a zillion clicks when this guy can draw you a cool-looking bull using that bull's poop. right? Which story do you answer?
I guess you're right.
Hello.
Clickbait, Willie.
Let me actually give Brian a plus. Oh, you know what? Give Brian a +1 there because he actually succumbed to me. Instead of just being a dick and being combative, he actually was like, I guess you're right.
Succumb to me.
So let me give him a +1.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, calling about the human poo as fertilizer. I was in Mexico, did a bus ride from Mexico City to Tasco, which is up in the mountains, and then back down the other side of the mountain.
Did you ever feel not safe, like the cartel could?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And the rules about driving and roads and such on these mountainous passages were non-existent. There were times that we could look over the side and see the remnants of vehicles that just didn't make it.
Oh, God.
Why'd you do it there, Captain Submarine?
It was actually a good time. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the adventure. I'll never get in a submarine or go up to space, though. So, but that aside, one of the things that they told us in one of the many villages that we stopped in was be careful at all of these vendors because they all fertilize the food that you're purchasing with human waste.
Ooh.
So, like, if you went into the market, when you went into the market, because each one of these little villages has a market, and you can buy, whatever, whether it's from beef jerky to probably, asparagus to whatever. They're like, don't buy anything because they use human poop to fertilize it.
Oh, yeah. If it was something that was grown 100% guaranteed, they fertilized it with the family human poop, with the family poop.
Yeah, but they don't tell you not to eat it. That's not true. You have your water filtration system that cleans it. They say just don't eat it raw.
That's a big business, man. My mom.
I'm sure everyone in Mexico does stuff.
My mom used to be the head of the Warsaw Sewage Department.
When you buy it,
and so each municipality has their own sewage department that takes the water, the reclaimed water, what we flush and stuff, and actually, don't they, Brian, use almost every city and municipality has a sewage sewage lift station or department where they go ahead and I think they usually use that for reclaimed water or something.
Yeah.
But they use it for something.
Yeah, it's reclaimed water, and it's they process it
irrigation,
somewhat, but it's still not potable.
Right.
But it's good for watering grass,
your lawn, and washing your car and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's why you can't drink water out of the hose anymore, because it's old man farm. It's not necessarily the cleanest. Anyway, buddy, thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Mexico uses human poop. Speaking of human poop. So Tuesday night, I think I had talked about how I got up at 11:38.
Yes.
Tuesday night. I got to the gym about 1:30, and then
because you're all messed up yesterday.
Yeah, I was all messed up. Well, I got back on track yesterday.
Good.
Was actually sound asleep by like 6:30.
Until
really sleeping good too, because wasn't tossing and turning, was just really sleeping good. And then at 8:40.
No.
8:40. Now there's a good side and a bad side to this.
Okay.
Very rarely have I woke having to poop. Like that's a very
your bowels
odd,
wake you up.
Yeah, I kind of have a little regiment and stuff, and I can't think. Probably less than 10 times in my entire life have my bowels,
woke me
up to poop.
Bubba goes woke.
So let me take that point away.
I couldn't help
take that point away. So I get up at 8:40. I look at the clock. I'm thinking, okay, I got to poop bad. So I barely make it to the bathroom. I almost poop my pants. In fact, I have to check my underwear because I'm like, I could feel like little
what
milk,
an awful way to wake up.
Little milk duds maybe possibly penetrating my ass cheeks.
Probably wouldn't have been milk duds. Probably would have been a melted Milky Way.
Probably would have been like a Lincoln log. And so I can literally feel it the minute I hit the toilet. It's there she blows. And I poop and I poop and I poop and I poop. And then I use my little bidet, my little tushy gimmick that I got in my apartment, and I don't even wipe anymore, Brian. Did you know that? I just completely blow it. I use my bidet. I blow it all off with water.
Did you put a special filter on that so it blows a little harder?
No.
My butt could take the harder one.
Let me tell you right now, just stock. That thing feels like it could cut glass.
Oh, really?
Like,
Yeah,
I think it's
so
got
you
a
gotta be
1
careful
through
with the
10. I think it's got
pressure.
a 1 through 10 setting. I can only get up to like 5.
You pansy. God, you're such a snowflake now.
Let
Back
me-
in the day,
All
you
right,
could have
Brian.
handled an
Brian,
8 or a
I'll
9.
I'll tell you
Let
this
me
right
touch it.
now. We have one upstairs, too. I got 2. We have one up in the upstairs bathroom. You go down there and
I
you...
challenge you to blast your ass, Brian.
Yeah, I'll challenge you to see how tough your butthole is. If my butthole can only handle a 5... don't sit there and start talking about, the toughness.
But you have speed bumps all up in your butthole. No.
Bubba, can we test those mics now that Brian just...
No, but you can give Brian another -1.
What? Your polyps, man. That's funny.
Hello? Your microphones are on.
Hello. Power
Yeah.
Pig, hello, can you hear me? This is Macho's mic.
Sounds
So
like
he
crap. It
says-
sounds like crap, and it's super low volume.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me mine's still not working.
It's
I
up
guess
a
we're
little
getting
more.
somewhere.
You guys are getting there. See you next hour.
Mic check-in.
So let me. What's the score for this guy here?
For Brian?
-1.
Yes. Brian is -1.
A lot of ticks on my scorecard, though.
Up and down and up and down.
It's like ping pong. Hello. So
Actually, I'm sorry. Brian is even.
So I go.
Oh my God.
So I go. I had this massive explosion at 8:40.
What kind? It's a pile or?
It started pile-like. No, it started. Yeah, kind
Was
of
it solid or?
No,
No.
not solid.
Oatmeal.
So I go and I blow I bidet my butt. And at that point, Lummy, all you got to do is just take a piece of toilet paper and pat dry your rectum. There's nothing to wipe. It's completely pristine. So then I'm like, oh, but I got 8. It's only 8:40.
You didn't check the time first?
No, I did.
Oh.
And I then as I'm going back to my bedroom, total darkness with my AC window unit.
Mm-hmm.
It's officially 63 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm thinking, man, because on Thursdays I'm not waking up as early because I don't go to the gym on Thursdays. Now I'm just going Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh my God, I got all kinds of sleep, and I slept so good last night, so good.
Good.
Let me. Did you get a good night? Let me. What time? What's your everybody knows my regiment. Go to bed at 6:30, wake up at 2:15. These are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. At the gym by 3, work out till 4:15. Come here, and by 4:30. What's your routine?
Majority of the time, it's
what time do you go to bed?
About 10:30.
Right.
And wake up about 4.
Yeah. How about you, Anna?
I go
You're
to bed
kinda
way
all
too
over.
late because of jujitsu, and I live farther now. So usually I'm going to bed at 10:30, 11.
Oh my God! Don't you start freaking yourself out though?
Sometimes. Then I wake
like
up at 4:55, 5 a.m. around then.
How about? Oh, we can't talk to the other guys.
Yeah.
Brian, how about your regiment on the one day of the week that you come in?
So I usually take some sort of sleeping aid, either Benadryl or
Really?
like
Every
a
night?
Z-Quil. No, for when I do the
Oh,
show.
sorry.
Because
you got to go to
otherwise,
bed early.
Because I got to go to bed a lot earlier.
Okay, normally,
and it's a one-off.
normally when you go to bed just to go be a partner at Hunter Law, what time do you go to bed?
Between 11 and midnight.
And then what time do you go to bed when you got to be a schmarmy, toothy, co-host?
I shoot for 10, but if I can get to sleep by 10:30, that's good enough.
Up at 5?
Up at 5, exactly, yeah. 5:03. I said I don't like doing even round numbers.
I got you.
Yep.
I'm
I don't know
5:02.
why. Yeah, I don't know
I'm like,
why.
oh, I just need that extra 2
those
minutes.
extra 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, just
but see,
psychologically.
I'm the same way, but I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side. I'm like, if I had to wake up at 5, I'd wake up at 4:57.
No.
Meanwhile, you're a 5:03 guy.
Yeah, I'm a 5:03.
I'm pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm Mr. 5:03.
This Lummy, I think this is the
Yeah, he gives a tour.
This guy here gives.
It's the owner of the company.
This is the guy that was probably dead.
Yes.
The owner or the CEO? Oh yeah, no, that's him. That's him. Yeah.
Now, is
Stockton
this
Ford.
the actual?
Yes, that's the one they use.
And this place is called Ocean Gate Enterprises, right?
What a stupid name too. Like everything's Gate, like Watergate.
Yeah.
And now they're Ocean Gate.
And we just had Poop Gate. Now we got Mike Gate, and we got Rat Gate.
And
why is everything gate? It's all after
From
Watergate.
Yep.
Before that,
Watergate
there
Hotel.
was no gates.
Nope.
Now everything's a gate. Poop Gate, Rat Gate, Rat chewed through the Mike's Gate, Ocean Gate. How about your dead gate?
CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan.
And
my future coffin.
What about Lakegate? Like, I mean, could you not put one of these in the lake? Or are these only made for oceans?
Oh, I mean, what's the point?
You
can see the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, no offense.
So we're coming into the sub. This is the only toilet.
Let me give her a -1 for being a bitch there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Available on a deep diving submersible. Best seat in the house. You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in, turn up the music, and it's very popular.
Oh, God.
We have our,
Hold on,
what a horrible place to die.
And it's not even, like, they don't even have any jump seats.
Wow.
Nope.
Like, you would think they'd have,
front
like,
by
maybe,
the window.
You'd think they have some bean bags or something in there, right?
Yeah.
Control screen here, our sonar screen here, and we can put any image we want in the back. We've taken a completely new approach to the sub design, and it's all run with this game controller and these touch screens. So if you want to go forward, you press forward. If you want to go back, you go back. Turn left, turn.
What if you want to become unstuck in the
what if you want to live
in the 100-foot of mud? Now, what are your guys' theories as to what happened?
You got crushed.
I think
it went too far down. They got crushed.
I think they had a failure. They had
crack in the window. Got crushed.
Crack in the window. Got crushed.
Yep.
Because I've heard some people say that they could just be lost, and I've heard some people say that they could be stuck.
Lost? Like you just press up on the controller until you reach the surface.
Well, I mean, like
they said they don't use GPS, and that they communicate through text messaging with the main ship.
Hold on. Some people in Brandon have bad cell service.
I know.
You think that when you're
I don't get Verizon down here.
14,000 feet below the, like they got, listen, cell towers are made to be above the water. I don't know that cellular works below.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
In fact, I'm almost positive that water is so dense that a cell signal cannot go through water. I don't think.
That's a macho question, I feel.
No, I feel like it's a Brian question.
There's no chance in hell that they have cell service down there.
No, and if like this guy, if I'm the billionaire's family and I'm suing these people, I'm like, this is my number one thing for evidence. I'm like, look how flim-flammy this is. They don't even have communications back to the ship. It's not tethered. They're running it with a game control.
And you just get a tiny little window.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the whole thing's.
How do you even fit 5 humans in there comfortably? He's sitting Indian style. Just sitting Indian style for 5 days has got to be torture.
I can't sit Indian style. I have to have my legs fully
out. It's not like
out.
the whole thing's transparent where you could like see everything. It's like
Can
one
you
little
imagine
window.
if I went and they blamed me for being too heavy? That's why they couldn't get to the top.
Down, go up, and it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board just in case.
Yeah.
This is the second
You didn't keep a couple spare windows involved, now, did you?
We've been out to the Titanic. We went out in
what year is
8 days.
I don't know. Maybe
this would have had to have been 2022.
Missions. We did about 10 dives to the wreck site of the Titanic, and we did an extra dive on an undiscovered reef that we found. Completely privately funded operation, and we're
used to be.
We're funded by we call mission specialists who help support the mission. So they take quite a bit of money to come and join us. Years ago, the Russians took tourists out to the Titanic, and it was just sort of a look and see thing. We really are focusing on the science around it. We want to document what the wreck is like now, and also try to predict what it'll be like in the future.
Yeah, well, there's the science. The science. That's not science. That's not science.
Now there's a few extra bodies on the Titanic. Yeah. They're adding to the wreckage.
Is the warm line ringing?
James Cameron's going to direct this film.
Oh God.
I was trying to talk. It was Joe Exotic's friend that got a number from their handler. I guess Joe Exotic's not doing good today.
Why is he calling in?
So hello, who's this?
It's hard to hear him.
This is Emilio Noyola Jr.
Amelia, how you doing? This is Bubba. Now, are you actually a friend of Joe's?
I am actually a great friend of Joe's.
Now, are you in prison with him, or are you free?
I am a free man.
But
I have paid my debt to society, and I am a free man now.
But you were in prison.
I was in prison. I have just left him not just so many hours ago.
Oh, so you just left?
What'd you do?
You just left Joe, or you just left prison a while ago?
I just left prison. I just left FMC Fort Worth Texas prison, in federal prison, medical center, where Tiger King, Joe Exotic.
So hold on. All right. So hold on. So Joe is we know he's in federal prison, but where you're talking about, where you most recently came from, is you visited him at the hospital in prison, and he probably
that is where he's at. Yeah.
That Joe's in the hospital at prison, and he probably gave you our phone number for you to call us to tell us, because we're his buddies, his radio buddies, that he's not doing good.
Well, he's not doing good in the aspect that today is every Thursday there's DHO. It's called disciplinary hearing. That is abbreviations for when we go see an officer when they give us a citation. When we are penalized for whatever an officer says that we did wrong, we violated the code, they give us a citation, so we got to go with the DHO officer. The DHO officer will be seeing Mr. Tiger King today. Is every Thursday. I just left.
Now, what did Joe do to have to go in front of this officer?
There was a phone found in his common area, and the officer was like so adamant in like courting the area where his cell is at. It's like, man, why is this officer going out of his way to
hold on? So somebody, there was a cell phone found in prison near Joe's area, and they're pinning it on Joe?
Yes, exactly what I'm saying, and that's exactly what happened.
Right. And Joe says it wasn't his cell phone, but they're saying, because Joe Exotic's real famous and cool, they're gonna go ahead and Pedro and Leroy, two cells down, aren't nearly as famous, so they're gonna try to hem up Joe on the deal.
Absolutely.
See, I got to say, listen, I've never been in prison, but I got it down. I know how it works, don't I, buddy?
The reason why you know is because you're a great friend of my friend.
That's right.
Now, did you just get released from prison, or did you go visit him?
No, I just got released from serving almost a 21-year sentence.
Really? Oh, my God.
21?
Yes, I've just been released. My name's Emilio Noyola Jr.
Amelia, what did you do?
What did you do, allegedly?
What did they say? Now, with a prisoner, you always ask them what they said he did. They never did it.
Oh, right, sorry.
What did they say you did, Emilio?
Can I say my input in what you just said right now?
Yeah, of course you can. Emilio, listen, the one thing about me, man, is I'm super cool and super chill, and if I make a mistake, then go ahead and correct me, buddy. Yes, please.
And it's not a mistake. It's just like you said. It's just, let's get into understanding. And Joe Tiger King told me this. My nickname is Millie Mill, and he tells me, Millie Mill, relax with your formal introduction and formal verbal communication. These are my friends. They curse. They don't give a fuck, man. You know what? You have your friends.
Yeah, you don't have to be so formal. Me and Joe are boys, so like we can talk like boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can.
We don't have to be all formal and be like, hey, blah, blah. So what? So Emilio, what were you in for?
I was in first for they said for this conspiracy to distribute narcotics, and then 2 years later, I was indicted again on a racketeering case. So I had to. In the first case, I went to trial. Unfortunately, I lost, which means that I am not literally guilty, since I have tried to defend myself. However, it is very, very, very next to impossible to.
Yeah, but Amelia, here's the deal. Let's not worry about all that past nonsense. Let's worry about the fact that you're, as the way I feel, I think you're a free man right now. Are you not?
I am absolutely a free man. I'm talking about it. When I say that I can open my own kitchen door, my own house door, I'm doing that.
You don't got to worry about getting anally raped in the shower. You don't got to worry about getting shanked. You got to worry about the yard. You're a free man. We don't got. I mean, we're not going to listen, Amelia. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not going to judge you.
24 years in prison.
I mean, as long as you didn't kill nobody. Did you kill anybody?
Absolutely, something that we talk about later on, because it's something that, how should I tell you, it's not what they're saying.
Okay,
right?
Let's go. Hold on.
It is very
intriguing. Okay, let's go down that path now. Listen, I'm never going to judge you. We're boys. Don't forget, we're boys. Okay. And even if you did knock somebody, knock somebody off, maybe there's a reason. Some people deserve knocked off.
No, it's not like that. The reason why I said I'd rather have a very sane mind frame as I speak to you about this, because you understand that that even though I paid my debt to society already, there's certain things that I wish to consult with my attorney, so I know that I won't be recorded. I won't be saying something that I'm not supposed to do, because I am on federal probation, and I don't wish to upset any of my probation officer or anybody, any of the government agencies.
Amelia.
Yes, sir.
Enough said and very well spoken. That's exactly what you should say, because we're on a national radio program. Millions and millions of people are listening, and you're right.
And I'm actually an attorney, and that's the right advice.
And I actually have an attorney as a co-host, and he's like, you know what, Amelia, we don't need to get in all that because you are on probation. Next thing you know, somebody hears something on the radio, and now you're getting hemmed up on that nonsense. So we won't even go there, period.
And that is the reason why I'm very cautious, because one thing that I know is that I have been given the opportunity by Honorable Judge Ed Kincaid. And now that you tell me that millions and millions are listening to me, and I want millions and millions to know Honorable Judge Ed Kincaid, with a warm embrace, I want to tell you that I thank you very much for blessing me with the opportunity to rectify my behavior when a young and ignorant mind that we all go through.
But Amelia, how old are you now?
I am 42 years old. My life was severed at the age of 24.
At 24, you got put in. And
Yes,
I'll
sir.
tell you one thing, at least this, I promise you will roll around life far less with a chip on your shoulder and far more humble than you did prior to going in. And so just like your statement to me is like, listen, I'm not going to get into all that. Back in the day, man, you just would have blurted out what you did and been all cool about it and braggadocious about it. And now, because you've learned how to be patient and you're going to keep your mouth shut and stay out of trouble, right?
That is exactly what I'm going to do. And aside from that, mind my own business with my family, which I adore so much, and I will never leave them again.
Right. So now listen. So you did 21. You're out.
No. I did. With the First Step Act, I was able to get blessed, But my sentence was 21 years. It was cut a couple of years short due to the fact that I have earned good credit. I have earned.
You got paroled out because you're good.
Yeah. So I was able to benefit from the First Step Act. However, in the institution of FMC Fort Worth, where our good friend Tiger King's at, it's like
Amelia, is it tough in there, buddy? Like is it tough?
You want to know the truth? It is tough because of the staff. It is tough because of the staff, not because of the individuals who are living amongst us. It is simply because of the staff. And I can tell you point blank that I was supposed to get out on February the 16th. Tell me, why did I get out just here recently, this past Friday?
Because they just take their sweet old time, and they're in no hurry to help you out. They do it because they want to have total control of you and keep you down as long as they can. That's why.
Yes, and they can do that. And one thing that I just find so amazing is that how is it that our founding fathers did an elaborate job with the senator seats and didn't think about the individuals that would be confined like literally like animals, and have somebody, just one individual, whether it's a female staff or a male staff, to have so much control over our families.
But hold on, Amelia, I got to step in. I don't think our family fathers. Our founding fathers that put this country together really took into consideration, jail or prison. I don't think that they really were thinking about that.
I don't think so either. It's obvious.
So anyway, make a long story short, congratulations. And more important, Amelia, I would like for you to call the show. Now, Joe calls the show when he can, and we're going to get into the Joe Exotica stuff here momentarily. But Amelia, I'd like for you to call the show every month or so and give us a report. Let us know how you're doing. If how things going for you. I mean, like,
all right,
what kind of job you got? What did you do today? Anybody piss you off?
Okay, I sure will do that. Right now, I don't think that anybody can piss me off because I just know how to ignore it this time.
Right.
So, but with that being said, Mr. Bubba, I appreciate you for your time, and I
Amelia,
will be in contact.
Do you have a job yet, or how long? When did you get out? Just a couple days ago?
Friday.
Yeah. Friday.
I got out on Friday at 8 o'clock.
No, listen, Amelia.
Oh my God, what was the first thing you did?
These questions cannot be held against you because they're just things that regular dudes do. This is.
Oh no, yeah, I know public records. I know what.
Okay, so if I ask you an inappropriate question that could potentially jeopardize your freedom, don't answer it. But I'm going to ask you some cool ass guy questions.
Might try to trip you up though.
But here's the deal, Amelia,
Yes.
how fast?
Emilio.
I'm sorry, Emilio.
Noyola.
Hey, I'm just some gringo. I don't know I don't know any Spanish or nothing. Okay, I'm just some gordo gringo. Okay.
Hey, listen, don't worry, my gordo gringo. You are in good hands too.
In fact, I think I think that's what you need to call me, your gordo gringo. Okay.
Oh my goodness! Listen, I don't want my ladies to get disappointed, man.
Ladies,
I'll be your life parole. I'll be your life parole coach. Okay.
He's El Diablo Blanco. El Diablo Blanco.
White devil.
Okay. Now let's get back on course.
No, hold on. Back on course. Now, what's the you last Friday? What time did you get out?
I got out at 8:00
a.m.
a.m.
Oh hell yeah! So like,
way to start the weekend.
Who picked you up? Who picked you up?
Unfortunately, the circumstances that surrounded me, it had to be the hearse. I was driven straight to the cemetery where my mom's remains were waiting for me to be honored and respected.
Oh Jesus Christ!
So that was that one of the conditions?
When did she die?
Was that one of the conditions that you got out so that you could go to your mom's funeral?
I wish it was, but it wasn't.
Okay.
When did she pass?
I finished my time. I mean, my good time was taken away without me even losing it, and I was telling my case manager, which I won't mention his name.
No.
But I will say that my case manager was just like giving me the whole impossible just to not let me out.
All right, so you
because
go
I exercise my remedies, which means if I'm going to agree with his behavior or how he's conducting himself, which is unprofessional. And I didn't agree with him, so I filed on him. Well, it was my repercussion. I wasn't going home anywhere anytime soon under his supervision.
All right, so enough.
When
did
she pass?
All of that negative stuff. When did you lose your mama? When did she pass?
I lost my mom on December 18, 2019.
All right, so she'd been gone a while, but you as a man, the first thing you wanted to do when you got out, you could have gone to McDonald's, you could have got a beer, whatever the hell. You went and paid respects to your mom. That's very cool.
Yes.
That's very cool, Amelia.
Yes. Yes.
So you do that.
I made videos, and I made a good video of it. Later on, if it is possible, I can shoot it to y'all.
Yeah, we like to use it for original content and really get some hits on it. So, so Amelia, you go, you pay respects to moms, but then you're probably done by what, 10, 11, 12 o'clock.
We left. About 11:30. We left. It was so hot, so we had to get some.
Then what? Then what? You've been eating.
We went to the restaurant.
Hell yeah!
Which one?
Cater to my family and to my friends.
Where did you guys go? Taco Bell? Where'd you go?
The restaurant called Emilio's.
Is
it your family's?
Is it a Hispanic, Mexican restaurant?
It is a Mexican restaurant, yes.
And what did you order the tortilla with the queso? Of course you did.
I ordered so many things, and I didn't eat all of it, but I ordered a lot of things.
Would you have some birra?
Did you have some?
I don't think that we can drink right now. I just got to talking to my probation officer.
Don't drink, Amelia. Don't drink,
Absolutely.
okay?
But see, the thing is that I don't know. That's what they're going to talk to me about here this next week coming. Yeah. They're going to talk to me about what are the stipulations that I have and what is the...
Because they might have, they may have like a no alcohol deal. They may have a bunch of stuff that you're going to stick by, okay? Now we don't...
Yeah, of course.
Now, hold on. Now, Emilio, you were getting to the good part. Like that night... you've been locked up for a long time, and I'm assuming that you're attracted to women, right?
Absolutely, one billion %.
Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend? What?
I am not married at the moment, but I am seriously with a lady that I have great intentions with. That has already proven me and shown me that, you know what, through thick and thin, I am that woman.
Well, that's a hell of a woman. I mean, she stood by you, my friend, at your lowest moment. That's a hell of a woman right there, buddy.
Absolutely, and there was a few individuals who are good friends of Tiger King that told me before I left, Millie, don't you go out there and fuck shit up. Because that woman you have is a good woman.
She's a good woman. Now, did you and her, Amelia, make sweet love for hours on hours?
I think I will keep that after the show too.
Yeah. Okay. That means.
okay. You know that.
I
how
mean,
can you ask that?
listen. There's no probation officer in the world that's going to be a dick that says, we're going to put you back in jail because you made love to your girlfriend on Friday night, Amelia. Come on now. It's not illegal.
Hey, listen. Let's get some humor in here too, man. Come on, relax. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Of course.
Now, hold on, Amelia. How good was it? You got to be like, oh my God. Oh.
No, I would never proclaim to be a god. However, I was mentioned as one because, oh my God is what I was hearing all night long.
I mean, because, beer, Mexican food, watching football,
having sex in that order.
Hold on. Being able to do the, things as a free man, that's all good and well. But, man, the feeling of a vagina. After so long, oh my God!
How do you come out and you get to watch Team USA smack down Mexico, man?
I haven't really entertained.
You didn't care. Now, hold on. You're probably not familiar with iPhones or what were you most? No. What are you now? Because you've been almost a week now. What are you most intrigued by technology wise that's happened since you got out?
Technology wise, how? In our TVs, you got all kinds of apps that you can see, that you can watch, that you can entertain yourself, the kids. I mean, it's all on the TV now.
Yeah, TV has changed probably the most since you've been gone, right?
Let me see. What it changed the most? Where I grew up, where my mother and my father came to get a little box for us to raise us, is completely changed.
Now, Emilio, did your mom and dad, were they immigrants from Mexico that came to America?
Yes, they risked their lives to give their kids, to give their sons a better life.
So when did you go in? When did you go in? Were you in 16 years?
18.
I was in there since 2004.
2004.
So it's like 18 years I did.
Yeah, because you went in at 22.
Now, all right.
Got out at,
enough of Emilio. 40. We're going to get Amelia updates from time to time. Let's talk about our good friend Joe. What's going on with Joe?
Yeah, what's going on with Joe Exotica?
Huh?
What's going on with Joe?
Man, Joe is is an amazing person, a great spirit individual. And when I first met him, I've heard him when we first got to the.
Hey, you got to pass a word to Joe that Lummy, one of the co-hosts on the show, peed on Carol Baskin's mailbox last weekend.
That's right.
We did. We went and peed We went and peed on Carol. If they want to come arrest us, that's great. Whatever.
We did it.
We're not saying you did it. I'm telling you that me and Lummy went and just peed all over on the handle and everything. So she got we did
for him.
And we're like, this is. Okay. We were like a couple of homies. We're like, this is for you, Joe. Joey, buddy, get better.
Hey, Bubba, you and Lummy went and peed on what?
On Carol Baskin's mailbox. and we even got on the back of our pickup truck and peed on her handle so that when she opens her mailbox, when she opened it up on Monday, she had to get our pee on her hand.
Hey, well,
that may be a
I
federal
will make sure to pass the message. But you do know that I repeat myself. He's going to he will be seeing BHO today since your had already been postponed.
Now,
I'm hoping
is his health okay, Emilio? Is his health okay?
Yeah, his health seems great.
Now, why was he in the medical center?
So he's going to probably end up missing our scheduled phone call that we have with him because he's going to be in the shoe or something.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, and he wanted me to.
Emilio, isn't it amazing? I pretty much know it. I've never been to prison, but I got it all down. I got it down.
Been pretty darn close, though.
Yeah, I've been close.
But listen, you don't have to be in prison to really know about prison. Just watch American Me. Just watch Blood In, Blood Out. That is some truth.
Amelia, I've been on. Amelia, you want to hear this, pimp? You're going to tell me how pimp I am. I'll wait till you hear this. I've been on trial 4 times, on a jury trial, 4 times. I've won all 4 of them, and one of them I was facing 5 years in prison. Won it.
Yeah, but you're not talking federal. You're not talking about federal prison.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm talking the state. That's a little popsicle stand compared to what you're talking about. But but hold on. It's still prison. It's still not cool, right?
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I take that back. Okay.
Yeah.
Take that back. I'm gonna tell you what the lawyer, what the judges tell the jury. Our audience, please take that. Disregard that.
Disregard. Strike that. It's called strike that. Strike that, please.
Strike that. See,
But I mean, how many other guys have you talked to? Well, I probably should answer that question. That were facing, you should be more impressed that I'm 4-0 in front of a jury. How many people do you know are 4-0 in front of a jury?
I mean, I have to say that I only know one person.
Me, Bubba Clem, or I'm sorry, what's my name? El Pedro, Fat. I'm sorry,
Gordo.
El Gordo, mi Gordo.
No, El Gordo.
Mi Gordo Bubba.
No, what was the white? Gringo Gordo.
Mi Gringo, mi Gringo Gordo. There you go.
DJ Gringo Gordo.
Look at you, man.
So now so they found this cell phone near Joe's place. Joe's probably going to get pinned for it. What's that mean? How many days in the shoe?
I mean, he's supposed to be there no more than 30 days. Right now, it's like, I mean, some of us that go out with those violations come out in a little bit sooner than that. It's not complicated. It's not something real like out of this world unless the officer wants to make it
now,
that way.
Emilio, how many times did you get put in the shoe?
Oh my God, I lived in the shoe, my buddy.
Really? Because you were causing problems.
No, absolutely not. The thing is, like, and I got all my documentations because, I want to make sure that I set things clear, man. That it doesn't matter whether you did something or you didn't. Most of the times, like, yeah, we're trying to defend ourselves. Like, no, we're not going to do this. We didn't do this. Like, but realistically, when you have evidence, when you can show proofs to the DHO officers and the UDC, which means UDC comes before the DHO. UDC is
the ins and outs of federal prison with Emilio.
Huh?
I said our new segment's going to be called The Ins and Outs of Federal Prison with Emilio, How to Survive for Federal Prison.
Man, you know what? I will tell you one thing. If you was to do that, it'll be a fine success.
I know it is.
From the start.
Now, were you ever afraid of getting shanked?
Was I ever afraid to get shanked?
Yeah.
Man, I think that in our eyes, we can tell when we fear and when we don't. And I think that's why nothing happened to me.
Now, is it true that not that you participated in it, but is it true that like you got to associate based on what you are? You automatically got to get associated with a group of people, like
Listen, and I'm so glad you asked that question because this is something very important that I'm about to broadcast in your show. Okay, I'm glad you asked that question because these people I'm about to mention are the ones that are suffering the most, and they are called Solanos. They are called independents. These are individuals that don't want nothing to do with any criminal organization, with any gang in the prison, with anybody that's doing anything that's got to do with getting in trouble or trying to go against.
So the Solanos are the independent guys. They're like the guys that tell the other dudes, "Listen, I don't want to be part of your deal. I don't want to be part of nobody's deal. I just want to do my time and mind my own business." And then that's where the gangs will start screwing with you.
No, it's not really screwing with you, but you don't have your word is not as respected as it should be.
So is Joe a Solano?
Now I can't say that. I can't say the same thing for myself because even though that I am not affiliated with no gang and I am no part of no gang, I am a free man that has been independent and Solano to the federal system, and I have to say that I have earned a good reputation for being a stand-up man. I'm not saying in a way to be aggressive or to have do some.
Is Joe a Solano?
Joe is definitely a Solano. He LBJ. He clicked up. It'd be what do you call it?
No. Do they? Oh yeah, it's always LGBTQ,
okay.
Right? Does he get a lot of flack for that in prison that he's LGBTQ?
No. He's in a low prison. You got different levels. You got USPs, which that means that a lot of individuals don't make it in that area. But you got medium security. Medium security are almost the same thing as the USP because those individuals are going down, and they seem to be right back because it's like the environment from the
so
USP.
Is Joe in a medium security prison?
No, Joe is in a medical center. He's at a low. It's a low. It's a low.
It's super low.
The next lowest thing that you can have is the camp, which I have been to the camp myself, but you got to be under 10 years.
Now, hold on the other end, Emilio. We can't go too much longer. The segment's almost over. But listen.
Yeah, and I have to end my call too.
All right, but hold on. I know your minutes are going down, but listen. What's the hard chorus? Like, can they as much as Joe's in kind of an easy part? Like, is there super hardcore ones that are like the super scary?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Like what's the most hardest core one of all that in the prison system?
You mean like the ones that fear the most, or the ones that are the hardest, the ones that are the hardest prisoners? I mean, like
Quentin.
Aggressive. What are you talking?
Like the prisoners are the meanest and the most aggressive.
They're in the USP. They're in the USP. But you got 92%, 92% lifetimers in the USP. So it's kind of or a certain amount, a big percentage. So you got individuals that really they want to see blood. They want to see somebody go down. They wake up, desiring that, wishing that. That's it's a critical.
So what's on Emilio's schedule for today? I know Joe. You saw Joe yesterday. He said, "Hey, listen, call my friend up, Bubba. I'm supposed to be on the air with him, but I'm going to probably miss it because I'm going to be in the shoe because I got some cell phone nonsense going on. But send word to him." So you sent the word. If you can get word back to him, we're like, "Hey, listen, Joe, just do your time and call us when you can." And Emilio, until Joe can call us, we'll talk to you every couple weeks just to kind of get a little update.
Okay, listen, and please mark my number down in case I'm a little tied up. I'd like to just get a brief. You can contact me too and let me know. Listen, if you can come up, I'll
maybe. Hey, now listen, we got our own apparel called Bubba Army. My logo is called Bubba Army, and we have Bubba Army T-shirts and things. Maybe I can send you like a Bubba Army T-shirt or something.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'll make sure to put it on display.
Oh, I bet you will. Just don't rob a bank or nothing with it, okay? All right, listen, Emilio, yes, I'm going to put you on hold. My producer is going to get your number and tell Joe that that we got his message and we know that he's hemmed up right now, and we'll hear from him when he's available. And until then,
just count 30 days from now.
And then until then, we'll keep in touch with you, okay, bud?
Congrats on your freedom, man.
And and you know what? I gotta tell you, you really, really seem like a changed man. You know the right.
Thank you so much.
You're very polite. It really. I mean, Brian, I'm really very cautious, and very rarely. And I've been a critic. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, Emilio. I've been a critic of the penal system, saying it doesn't rehabilitate people. It's nonsense. But I think in this instance with you sound like a very rehabilitated man. You sound like a humble man. You sound like a very appreciative man. And I just stay that course, my friend. Okay.
Thank you. As you mentioned, right now, as you're expressing your point of view, your perspective of me, the only thing that comes to shine in my mind is my mother and my father. They did have a great kid. I just made a mistake as a young adult.
Yeah.
And you're right. I'm not going to say that the penal system is not a thing. I'm going to say with words, just keep up with Millie Mill because I'm taking it to the top. I tell the warden, Mr. Garrido, I said, Warden, you ain't never seen a prisoner like this man right here you got in your presence. I wish to have you in the front as I get released on Friday and shake my hand so I can have you on a picture with me. And if you can, Mr. Warden, I really appreciate that because you know what? I'm going out there to make history.
Listen, you 100%. Screwed up. You are man enough to know that you screwed up a portion of your life, and you're man enough now to try to fix it. And I appreciate that.
Yes. Bubba, thank you, sir. I'm waiting for the person that you need me to wait to so I can talk to him.
All right, I'm going to put you on hold, Emilio, okay? Hold on.
Thank you. Hey, audience, thank y'all. Y'all in the greatest show ever, so y'all can stay tuned.
And Emilio, if you get like an Instagram or a Twitter or anything that you can promote or a YouTube, let us know. We'll promote it.
I'm talking to my legal team, and I'm talking to my to see what is it that I want to do this. I want to make sure that I can put time and dates no matter where I'm at. So anybody that wants to know about Emilio Noela Jr., they can just log in wherever is my site, and they can see where I'm at.
You need to start you need to get a hold of your team, your legal team, and see if you can start like a YouTube channel where you can actually listen. I'm telling you, the way you can make some money and be an influencer. And there's a lot of people that would be inspired by your story. And how you got your crap together now and things like that. That if you started a YouTube channel and you documented all this, I think it could go good for you.
Yeah, and Bubba, you are the fourth person that has mentioned this beautiful opportunity that I have in my and that I could possibly have in my agenda. Unfortunately, right now, it is not something that I wish to entertain. I will get a social media accounts, but I am interested in building the companies that I am so adamant to build that I have studied for almost 5 years in prison. One is going to be a land development company and a demolition company.
All right, perfect.
And once I
we got a break.
Yeah, I got to break.
No problem.
Amelia, let me put you on hold. I'm going to give you the lummy. He's going to get the number.
Thank you, everybody.
Sorry.
Land Development Company. I think that means landscaping. He'll be good at that. That's what I'm thinking.
He's going to come up with the next spicy chip for Fritos.
I think I got your number.
You know, he's going to be
flaming hot.
He's going to develop something, and he's going to be laughing, making more money than all of us.
Hey man, I wish him the best.
More power to him.
Yep.
What a great guy. For real, like he's not some hardcore thug.
He sounded like a great guy. You're right. Yeah, he sounds like a great guy, and I wish him the best.
Thank you.
Don't chalk up their behavior to being crazy rednecks.
Yeah, think about that.
They're just totally insane. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Well, explain yourselves.
Just like a six-pack of cheap Yiddish beer.
Don't surprise me. You look like a typical low-life character to me.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I've been playing this. I played it 3 or 4 times, last week, and I've been playing the hell out of it today. It's with Buck Cherry. It's Moonshine Bandits. It gets released today. It's called Wild. It's about that crazy bitch that you just really hate to see go, but you hang on too long to, and it ends up being a problem. But let me get the Moonshine Bandits on all mic'd up and ready to go. What's up, fellas? How are you?
Good. How you doing, man? We're happy to be on. Thank you. What up, Bubba?
I got Bird and I got Text, better known as Dusty and Brett. I think this might be the first time I've ever had you guys on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think we were talking once. I guess this was years ago about trying to do something with you. And I think that we didn't wind up going out to Tampa. Are you in Tampa, right?
Yeah, we're in Tampa.
Yeah.
And Florida is probably pretty. This is, Hick Hop and the stuff that you guys did, and you guys are kind of. I don't know if you guys get near the credit for it, but in 2003, when you guys started doing this stuff, this was you guys were way ahead of the curve, and I don't know necessarily you get the credit for that, but Florida is kind of a big. Is that kind of it's a big sell for that type of genre, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think we've done some mud bogs out there. There's about 10,000 rednecks out there with no rules, just drinking and driving ATVs. So, it's a big market out there. That and also too in Florida, there's all the different bike weeks. You got Daytona Bike Week, which kind of, there's a lot of this translates well with each other. From mud bogs to bikers, they kind of interact a lot in a lot of different ways, which. You would think it wouldn't be that way, but it really is.
That should be your next album, Mud Bugs to Bikers and everything in between, and bad bitches in between. That's what it should be.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, your new album, Poor Decisions, it features, I think you got Afro Man on there, you got Buck Cherry on there, you got my buddy Chris from Tech 9 on there, you got, I think, Brandon Hart on there. You guys got a bunch of people on there, and that drops, I think, in a month?
Yep. Comes out July 17th, I think.
And
I got to tell you real quick about Afro Man, right? So, this guy, and not only is he running for president, right? You know what I mean? Made his big announcement, but he is the coolest motherfucker you're ever going to talk to. But he actually did the song with us, and then he shot Dusty a text message 2 months later saying, "Hey, did we ever do that song?" He forgot because he was
so high. Because he was so high. And then he's like, I forgot I did a song with y'all. Can you guys tell me how that song turned out or what it's about? What's the lyrics? What was my part? What did I say?
Bro, they just bong rip and you know what I mean? Box wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that guy.
If you anything Moonshine Bandits wise, their main website is moonshinebandits.com. Now, they got their own whiskey. It's Bucked Up Whiskey. That also, I think, feeds into their 501c3 that helps veterans and things like that out. Twitter, Moonshine_Bandits. Instagram, the same. And then YouTube. Who in the hell why didn't you guys make YouTube Moonshine_Bandits? Who came up with the Shiner stuff?
Well, our fans, we kind of branded them as Shiner Nation. And
okay.
Shiner Family. So
shows you how stupid I am. I didn't do my research. Damn it.
No, it's all good. So straight out the gate, we were doing that, and then we just called it Shiner TV.
And you guys, listen, I know the algorithms and what cost per click and all that stupid stuff, and I see that you guys got I don't even want to hear y'all crying poor mouth, because I know you got 200 million views. I know what kind of money you're making, bitches. Independently, not beholden to any record label. It's so refreshing. People were freaked out in the industry when there's like, conventionally it used to have to be where you had to have a record label. They had to call a radio station. The radio station had to play you. That was a whole crap show in its show, who can kiss most ass. And, if you weren't a Tim McGraw, or you weren't a guy like that, you weren't going to get played, and you had no really underswell of support or to monetize. And you used to make an album, and then you would support that album through touring. Now you tour to support the album. Touring's where the money is, and you're not beholden to a record label. You can do it all, and I think you guys have been doing it pretty much all kind of outlaw on your own. And I think you guys are one of the very first. Well, Tech Nine, I think, might have been he's like on the Mount Rushmore of doing that. But I think you guys that's kind of how you guys roll, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we had a few people's hands in the cookie jar in the beginning. We went through the record label thing, but now we're doing it ourselves. And, bikinis in your videos equals views, right?
Right. Well, we learned.
Well, good music, good music equals views, and the bikinis are a kicker. Let's be honest. If you guys' music, if your music sucked, it didn't matter how many bikinis are in there. You guys put together some good stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
How is the Buck Cherry guy? We've had him in a few times, and what a great group, and what a great dude.
Right. I gotta tell you, man. I from being able to talk to Josh, one of my very first concerts I ever paid for, back with my first ex-fiance, we went to Vegas, and it was like our breakup. But I already bought the trip. But we had to go there anyway, so we didn't. And
you had guaranteed ass, so you couldn't
right.
So it's like I
so
can't.
So we went to Buck Cherry. That was like my first one I was able to afford and do a trip and all that back in my early 20s. And I was talking to Josh about that, and we were laughing about it and stuff. But I'll tell you what, that guy is so humble. I feel like he doesn't even realize how big they are. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what the kind of the lure of this guy is. Buck Cherry. Yeah. I don't even know how many albums they've sold, but they're so and it's so, and their rock is so refreshingly different, and just and his vocals just cut through. And I'll tell you how cool he is. He's hanging out with bozos like you. I'm telling you.
Right. Not only that, I had my son out there in L.A. when we filmed the video. He turned 16 with me, and Josh took the time to hang out with him and just make him feel comfortable and just experience the whole day. It was so cool. And he wound up putting a photo of me and my son and him up on his Instagram, which is really, really cool, man. So.
Your son could care less. Your son could care less about you, but man, he really likes that Buck. She's like, man, my dad, whatever, Moonshine Bandits, they suck. But man, I got to hang out with Buck Cherry.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking earlier about how you guys know Jelly Roll, and we had Jelly Roll. He just has exploded, and I'm not bringing Jelly Roll up as a comparison to you guys, because you've been doing Jelly Roll type feeling content 15 years before Jelly Roll's been doing it. But you guys have, you guys are friends of Jelly Roll and things like that. And we had him in here in 2008 when he was doing like a 250. Was it 08?
It was 2014.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2014, which even makes it better and more recent, and still doing like 300-seat venues. And, then of course he explodes, and we try to get a hold of him. And they're like, man, Jelly Roll, he sleeps till noon, then has like 10 bitches, and then he can't, be doing radio stuff like that.
2015, Jelly was on tour with us, and he was in a little white van. He was opening up for us, and that's actually when he met his wife. They met at our concert in Las Vegas. So shout out to Jelly and Bunny. They're in the next stratosphere right now.
Yeah, much love, man.
You guys should be getting some points on the album, putting those two together. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I mean, you turn on anything on YouTube, and all you see is Jelly and Bunny and Jelly and Bunny.
That's all you see.
Here, going there, But it's good. We love them. I mean, they're such good for each other, and you can actually see the love between them. Everything they post.
I'm not coming from a position of saying anything bad about the guy. I couldn't be any happier for him. He's just he's kind of a breath of fresh air with as judgmental as America
Amen.
as judgmental as America is, and if you don't have that look necessarily, that Miranda Lambert, Tim McGraw look, that you might not make it, and neither one of you guys got that look. But anyway, Jelly Roll certainly doesn't got that look, and his talent and his songs, America has embraced him, and he's just killing it. And if you guys can put a good word in, say, hey man, go on Bubba's show, Jelly Roll, you big-headed mother effer. If you guys could do that for me.
Yeah, go back.
I think I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna text his wife right now because Jelly don't carry a cell phone.
Right, and let's just be honest, Mama makes the decisions, and she is the keeper of the ass. So
yeah.
Now you guys, in your tour that starts in July, you guys aren't making it down in Florida, I don't think, this time.
No, we do have Florida in mind right now. So we actually are doing touring different this year. We started out like just doing sporadic shows, then we did a 5-week bus run, but then we're doing another 5-week bus run. We're finally getting into Canada. I could finally get into Canada, finally. And we're playing 4 shows up there, and then they just added another 4-week run in September, October. But it looks like it's going to be, we want to be down there for Bike Week, like Bike.
Oh, you guys would kill it.
So, right, and we play there. We play the Station Bar and with Phaedra over there.
They're going to
be Daytona.
What's that?
They're going to be at the Full Throttle Saloon with your boy Jesse.
Oh, did you know Jesse Dupree's one of my best friends? One of my
really?
One of my best friends. Yeah.
That's great, man.
That guy's a showman. That guy is a showman.
I don't know how he hasn't cut his leg off with that chainsaw. You know what I mean? He does that shit every day.
And the octave. I mean, like he's got like a Brian Johnson, like the scream that he's got.
Hell yeah.
One time at my old station in Tampa, we had an outdoor festival, and Jackal was there. And Brian Johnson, who lives in Sarasota, not too far, drove up to the festival, and he got on stage with Jackal, and it was Jesse and Brian singing AC/DC songs, and it was just unbelievable. You know who we also are friends with? Who I think you guys are? We're friends with Colt Ford.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Colt's a homie. Yeah. You were just talking to him last night.
Yeah. He just texted me last night, saying how everything's going, man. We love Colt, man. Colt, man. He's been we've been working together for 10 years, more than that, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Are you guys still partnered with Average Joe? And isn't that kind of his deal, Average Joe?
That's his label.
Yeah, we were with him for three records or 4 records, and we've all went on kind of doing our own thing now. But we run into him all the time, not all the time, but throughout the years and whatnot. And he's one of those guys that's always on the highway, Bubba. He stays on the highway.
I was just getting ready to say he's a grinder. That son of a bitch is on the road, making money. I mean, just killing it.
Yeah, he's always got a fancy pair of boots on. I'll give you that.
He does. He does. So what else is going on with you guys? So you guys, your new album, the Wild with Buck Cherry hits today. And then I think there's also a new one too, isn't there? Another one.
There's Hometown. That's the other single we got.
Right, Hometown.
Which mixes it up a little. And then one they did with Cold Ford, I believe, was about a year ago. But was it Red, White, and Booze?
Yeah, man.
That would be good for the 4th of July. That really pops.
Yeah, the great thing about that Red, White, Booze, I don't know if you guys saw that music video, but we got John Daly in there doing a belly flop, but. Yeah. It's
John
crazy.
Daly! You need to put John Daly in his own. Oh, he's crazy. He's from Clearwater. He lives down here, and he's a trip. I love that guy.
Cigarette. Oh man, I got to tell you, dude, I had to pick him up for that video shoot here in Nashville. He had in Nashville. We're in Myrtle Beach right now. Man, I walked in the bus and he's on the phone doing an interview. He got a cigarette in his hand. He got an ashtray over here, an ashtray over there. He got cigarettes going both sides. He got the PGA Championship trophy, and he's got the British Open trophy inside his bus. And I feel like he was drinking a vodka right there, man. That guy is party all day long.
Oh, nonstop. The only time he doesn't party is, I think, when he's sleeping. Other than that, everything's a party.
But they say, I started golfing because of John Daly, a little redneck kid from North Mississippi. I saw him winning the British Open, running down the fairway with a mullet. You know what I'm saying? I got behind that guy, so they say never meet your heroes, but he's one of the heroes I love to meet.
Now, Tex, how good of a golfer are you?
Bird? I am.
I mean, Bird. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to play in college. So, I
really?
play that much.
For real?
Yeah, at Mississippi State, man.
Oh wow!
Yeah, for 1 year until I drank myself out of school.
I like to see you go to. I like to see you to go to
Lake Tahoe last week.
I like to see you go to Augusta and try to get a membership looking the way you look now.
Yeah, I'd like to actually just I'd like to get within 100 yards of that place.
They would say, let that freak out of here. No way. We can only have, So now, Bird, you said earlier, I just picked up on this, that you're just now allowed in Canada. So does that mean Bird got hemmed up on some stuff and has just now got it cleared up where he can get into Canada?
It got cleared up actually about 2 years ago, but I couldn't get in because of fucking COVID, and there's a bunch of shit over there with that. Excuse me, I didn't know if I was supposed to.
No, we got a dump button. We're good, buddy.
All right, cool. Right on, man. Couldn't get in because of that. But now, now we're all free and clear. I had a DUI back in the day, and
now a DUI will keep you out of Canada.
Like a felony.
Even worse than that, they detained us for like 2-3 hours over there and put us with a bunch of fucking terrorists or whatever.
Yeah.
Was it now? Was it a DUI in Canada?
No. It's a DUI in our old hometown in California.
Well, how does that matter about getting into Canada?
Makes no sense.
Man. It's like a felony in Canada though. Here, I mean, I wasn't even.
But
moving.
It didn't even happen. It didn't even happen in their country. What do they care about?
Because it's like you're a felon going in there.
Better than that, Bubba. Though, ask him what happened with his DUI when he was arrested.
Bird,
I mean, that's great.
Bird, what happened?
The cops. I saw the police report from my attorney, and
are you looking like the way you're looking right now? When they're detaining you?
Oh fuck yeah! I had my mohawk was all the way up, dude.
You had your kid and play special.
Yeah, you had, dude. Absolutely. I read my attorney's like, hey, you want to hear the police report? And I'm like, sure. And I said, is there any way out of this? And he goes, no way. You're hooked for this. And I'm like, okay. And I said, why is that? And he said, well, you pulled your vehicle over when they flashed you, and you jumped out of the vehicle with your hands in the air saying, don't shoot, I'm an American.
That's what you said.
Waving my hands in the air. That's what I said to the cops. Yeah. And so then they came up. They knew I was hammered by the time they asked me. They said, you've been drinking? I said, I am up. Right. You know what I mean?
Did you even do the field sobriety with the one-legged Willie and the 9 steps around or anything kind of?
I didn't even turn on the blood work, bro. I was so ham-boned. I woke up the next morning. There was some border brother and myself. He peed himself, man, and it was one of them days I ate a French toast stick and got on.
Now, where was Tex? Now, Tex, where were you during this nonsense?
Listen to this. So I'm asleep. It's like 3-4 a.m. I wake up to a voicemail, and he goes, on my voicemail is like, you're the only phone call I had to make. I'm here with Officer Simpson, and he's feeding me porridge. Get me out of here.
You're probably the only number he remembers. That he has memorized. I don't know
any numbers. I wasn't calling her back then. You know what I mean? I was in my early 20s. So
it's Bird and Tex, better known as the Moonshine Bandits. You guys, I think, did something with Chris. And he is a really good friend of ours through Tech 9. Tech 9's been on our show a couple different times and performed, and we were talking before we started got back on the air about just how talented Tech 9 is, and just how really it's people don't really understand the mainstream America, regular top 40 or urban leaning radio, the corporate bull crap. You'll never hear a Tech 9 record on there ever. But I don't know how many zillions. He can live for the rest of his life just on his YouTube channel. But that guy is so not appreciated for how talented he is, and I think he gave you guys kind of a little break back in the day. You guys opened up for him.
Shout out to Chris, Travis, and Tech. Tech is one of the greatest live performers we've ever seen.
That's right.
We opened for him back in
Merced, California.
Merced, Cali, yeah.
It was when we very first got started doing live performances. So like within our first couple of years, we had a chance to be on stage with him. And I was telling you this before the podcast, Bubba. It's like when we saw him perform, it changed me and Dusty from then on out. We were no longer musicians. You had to make yourself become an entertainer.
Right.
You had to live in the crowd. And that guy, hands down, is the greatest entertainer I've ever been able to
Him and Kid Rock.
Yeah. Bob gets it too, does he not? Oh.
Absolutely. So I'm so lucky and fortunate that we had that opportunity to be with Tech way back in the day, and I'm sure he probably don't even know this. You know what I mean? But it influenced the way that me and Dusty do it.
And again, he doesn't get now. Kid Rock probably gets the accolades of being a great entertainer because mainstream America, for the most part, has seen Kid. I mean, Kid's he's had number one rock. But Tech is as good, if not even a tad better than Bob. And for the most part, mainstream America doesn't really know anything about Tech. And he's probably one of the greatest performers that's not ever really recognized as being as good as he really is.
I mean, one thing I remember is during the Royals or in the World Series, he was back there behind home plate every day or every game for that. I thought that was
he loves
cool.
He loves his Kansas City, buddy. He wears Kansas City proud on his sleeve. When you see Tech, tell him we said hi because what was that song called, Lummy, that Tech did where he mentioned
Comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a song that Tech did called Comfortable, and he said if you're not Bubba the Love Sponge and then two other radio personalities that he like, I'm not getting up early to do radio interviews unless you're Bubba the Love Sponge, Johnny Dare, or somebody like that.
Let's go. We're in the studio tomorrow. We're gonna have to plug you, Bob.
Yeah, you know what?
Make a Bubba the Love Sponge song. I mean, make a Bubba the Love Sponge song.
You're talking about Full Throttle Saloon earlier. Our buddy Goat, he's over there. He's the MC at Full Throttle, right? Well, he came out on our last tour and MC'd the whole tour. And every time I talk to him, he always brings up, we put his name in a song, and he wants us to perform that song. And it's like not a live performance song, you know what I mean? But he's so proud of being mentioned in that song. He always brings it up.
You guys going to Sturgis this year?
Yeah, we play Glencoe August 4th, Full Throttle August 5th, and then Glencoe August 6th. So 3 shows. Yeah, man.
And then you guys are going to try to make it down for Bike Week next February? Is it February, March?
Actually, we're trying to come in October, I think.
They got Oktoberfest. Yeah.
So, yeah. And
I got
a condo out in Daytona, Bubba.
You got
How
what?
far are you from I got a condo out in Daytona.
We're about 3.5 hours, over there from
cool.
there.
You're gonna have to come hang out with me. We'll go to Ocean Deck and eat shrimp tacos.
Bubba, they could come to your track, perform, and also watch some dirt racing.
I got a dirt track, Bubba Raceway Park, 3/8 mile high bank dirt track. We could have you guys in concert. And
great place to film a music video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that, man. That'd be great.
Get you and maybe get Jesse and Jackal and can you imagine a moonshine? Listen to this. The difference of. But yet it's not. It's different, but it's not. Jackal, Moonshine Bandits, and Tech 9. Would that be a hell of a show or what?
Let's go. Let's do it. I'm ready.
That would be a hell of a show.
Be awesome.
Now, when you guys first, do you look like do you often look at your very first thing that you guys did? I think it was Soggy Crackers. Is that was your first thing? Do you look at that? Do you look at that? And see, I see homie shaking his head. Do you look at that and be like, man, we were so green and we didn't know what we were doing and we didn't know anything about the business and you didn't know anything about the business, but the business has done a complete, 180 as to what it used to be in 2003. As far as now, a guy can go out and do an independent deal and make more money digitally distributing and touring than having to give what's a record label deal? 30 points, 40 points? What do you get back in the day?
You get bent over is what you get.
Yeah. I heard that there's some of these record labels that do these 365 deals where you're an up and coming artist, they support you, they pay for everything, but they pay you $800, $900 a week to tour. That's it. They get you, your band, and then they keep merch. They keep, digital rights. They keep everything. And these up and coming people who don't really have have not established themselves are signing what they call these 365 deals, and they're really breaking it off on these guys' asses.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you could do right now is own your own masters, and that's the biggest thing. We went from the old demo days where we were handing out demos and people were throwing them in the garbage because they didn't understand our sound. So we had to go through all those learning curves till here we are. Now we got our own master.
Hey, it's all about owning the publishing rights, and it's all about. I had Richard Marks in here one time, and and he was, and I was like, my producers were like, we're gonna book Richard Marks, and he's gonna be in studio, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm really into Richard Marx, that real wimpy ass stuff. But he was the biggest pimp. He was so he was so cool.
Can't be hating on Richard Marx.
No,
I was just thinking, man. I remember breaking in and catching my older brother making out with his high school girlfriend in his Fiero. You know what I mean, bro?
With Richard Marx playing Hazard County or something.
Richard Marx is playing in the background, dude. I used to love to sneak in there and listen to that CD, dude.
Yeah, and so anyway, we had him on, and we were talking, and he's super cool, like really good dude. And then we got to talking about kind of the money part of the industry, and he's like, listen, the money isn't in the radio play, isn't necessarily, it's in the publishing. And he said, I call it mailbox money. And at that time, now he had written like 3 or 4 #1 country songs for different artists that he owned the publishing rights to. He owned all the publishing rights to all of his hits. And he told me privately that he did between 8 and 10 million a year just in BMI ASCAP, mailbox money.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah,
I mean, wow. I mean, again, doing it yourself, doing it your way, is the only way you can do it nowadays. You don't even have to be on radio station 1 in order to become in order to make $1 million. You don't. You just got to have a good sound, a good YouTube channel, and a good touring support system, and some merch. And
merch is half the game, man. If you ain't got merch,
hey, I need to send you guys some Bubba Army stuff, but I want some Moonshine Bandit stuff that I wear on TV.
Yeah, make a little note of that right now. Get you
now, aren't you guys boys with Head PE?
They're on there. I think they're managed by us. We've done some shows with them. We don't know them too well.
Was it the Cottonmouth Kings or was
Cottonmouth Kings?
Yeah, Suburban Noise.
Those are our boys. Cottonmouth Kings.
We've done tour with Cottonmouth Kings and ICP.
ICP. Oh yeah.
Oh man. Ask ICP about Bubba the Love Sponge, and right there, bitch, will be the ultimate validation as to how cool we are, because they will not do any radio, but they come in and do our show. Because the last time they came in here, we brought this local band that really sucked, and we let them take airsoft guns and shoot them off the stage. ICP did. And they're like, man.
Yeah, ICP's helped us out a lot, man. They took us out on tour, showed us the merch game and everything. They bought all of our jerky and kept us afloat.
Yeah, Violent J, he's a big fan of our jerky, and we got rid of it for a while, and when we brought it back, I sent over there to their office there. What is it, Farmington or Framington?
Yeah, Michigan.
Illinois, outside Michigan. Yeah, sent it up there, and I get a response, and he was so proud, man. It had been a couple of years since he had it. So I hooked him up with like 30 or 40 bags of the shit.
They're great guys, man. They really are. But listen,
they are. They're one of the guys. If I want to text him, he'll hit me back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and they're proud. And he's told me this. He's like, man, they're proud to see where we've come, and we have to attribute part of that success, like Dusty said, to being able to go out with those guys and their professionalism on the road. Now they're wild and crazy, but you know what they are?
Businessmen,
entertainers,
and they're businessmen, businessmen. And you know what? They were doing it independent, because they were the bad guys. They could never get no regular record. CBS arrested. Nobody's going to sign those guys, and they go out and just straight kill it because they got a niche. And they got a sound, and they got a great following, and that's all you need. You don't need, you just need a great following and a good sound like you guys do. And I'm so happy that I got to meet you guys. 2, I'm gonna support all your stuff. And 3, you mother effers better put some good words in for us with Jelly Roll and a couple others. And 4, I want to see you guys if you guys come down here in October.
That sounds good, man. We'd love to swing through the studios and maybe drop off some gifts, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can they bring that?
Especially with our bucked up whiskey.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you bring some of that stuff?
Yeah.
Bucked up whiskey.
Man, it's going crazy. Like we had goals for our whiskey to be in California within the first 2 years and get it all over Cali. We're in 14 states in 2 years now.
Now, be honest. Are you guys making some pretty good money on the whiskey?
I mean, it's nothing to get rich off right now, but the goal is to, eventually you build the brand, and then Jack Daniels comes in and buys you out.
Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah,
that's how it works.
You make it. I mean, like we go and do these bottle signings, and thank God for our fans. Our Shiners are great. We moved 2 pallets of whiskeys and 11 bottle signings on our last tour. 2 pallets of whiskey, going in there, lining up in these supermarkets and whatnot, and being able to actually give.
Shout out to Save Mart Rayleigh's, Bel Air, Total Wine,
right? You know what I mean?
Total Wine. Total Wine is big on helping Mark Wahlberg do his new tequila. Total Wine was big. Yeah, Mark. Yeah. They support guys like you. Total Wine guys.
Yeah, man, it's incredible, and like we appreciate to have
that. Bubba, I got to get this in. If any of these whiskey guys want to do a blind test, we'll put our whiskey against Conor McGregor, any of these guys that have their own whiskey. We'll do a blind test. $10,000. We'll donate it to any nonprofit and see whose whiskey is the best.
I want to see. You know what? They're going to donate their $10,000 to our charity,
that's right.
Operation Packing Company, where we ship packages overseas to troops.
I want to see Bird. I want to see Bird take on Conor McGregor.
No, I ain't taking on anybody like that.
How big are you, Bird? How big are you? I can't tell. I can't size you up, Bob, when sitting down.
About that big right there.
How,
you know what I mean?
How tall?
It's not to get in the way. I'm a guy that likes to get in the way of things. If there are people getting going, I'll try to get in the way and just.
Now, have you and Tex ever been on the road? The road just it's tough. It's a tough life sometimes, and you two get on each other's nerves, and you guys just go straight at it. Do you guys ever do it like brothers?
Yeah, we went to jail in Wichita Falls, Texas, because we got in a fight at a gas station.
Hold on, so you two fought each other in Wichita and went to jail.
Yeah.
Who won the fight?
We both lost.
We both took L's on that one. I'll tell you what, man, that was a cold night sleeping.
Now, what
in
the
that
hell
cell.
were you? Now, what were you guys fighting over?
Alcohol.
Okay.
Booze.
Yeah.
Started off with a food fight, and then it went to a fist fight, and then next thing you know, Texas sheriffs were on our ass like that.
Yeah. Processed. I mean, I think we're still chirping at each other when we're getting processed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At that point, you guys know you're both taking a ride. Huh? Who gets in Who gets in the most trouble? Bird or Tex? To me, Tex, you look like you're a little more even. Bird looks like he's a little bit wilder than you.
I used to be.
He used to be.
I got married though. I got to shout out to my wife. You know what I mean? She calmed me down.
Yeah.
I got married. Yeah, I like being home now. It's just
that'll neuter a pimp in a minute, won't it, buddy?
Yeah,
right. He's being humble. He's actually a fucking lunatic.
How about you? Tex?
I got to steer the ship.
Hang on a second. This guy just went to his first rave in Cabo, San Lucas. He's down in Mexico going to raves, bro. You know what I mean?
Now, who's the guy that goes to the promoter and says, "Okay, time to settle up"? Who's the Gene Simmons of the Moonshine Bandits?
I've had.
We got people that do that now.
Yeah, I've had to go.
In the past, he did it.
I got us. Now, my actions got us banned out of.
Bird, did you ever have to go
what
back?
Town is that up in
did you ever have to go back, Bird, and say, "Listen, buddy, that's not what the numbers say. You're trying to screw me out of like 3 G's, bitch, and it ain't work." Because you know how these slimy ass producers are. They're like, "Listen, we really didn't sell that much beer, and the attendance was down, and
Yeah, there's Indiana. There's actually in
Indiana,
yeah, the old Armadillo. That place, I had to go in there and square them away in there, and then another spot in Joliet. The guy tried to get
Joliet, Illinois.
You know Elwood, Jake and Elwood
Blues from Joliet, Illinois. That's where the state prison is.
That's right, man. That's right. And you know what? We had to take some product off the shelves. So, and they didn't stop us. It was either you're gonna pay us, we're gonna take product off the
shelf.
shelf.
They don't pay us, we just take like the beer mirrors or whatever that looks cool.
So if they short you guys just go behind the bar and start helping yourselves.
Yeah, we decorate our own bars.
They better have bigger guns than we got. That's all I'm saying.
Who got the most groupies between you two? Because you guys did have a lot of groupies.
Oh, we're Catholic boys.
Right.
No, you bunch of lying bastards.
No groupies.
Right.
No groupies. Yeah, write a song about that.
You've seen our videos.
Yeah, exactly.
You've seen our videos.
I know. So prior to marriage, when you guys are running a little bit hotter, a little bit looser, let's say like circa 07, 08, Who was tearing up the groupies, and what city has the best groupies?
California.
That's not a city, Bert. That's I think you might be as drunk as you were that one night, but I mean,
Idaho. I don't know, man. It's just,
how about Texas? I've always heard Texas had some hotties.
You know, I mean,
California got the best.
I mean, the Beach Boys said that there's all these hotties all over the country, but it all comes back to California girls.
Yeah.
We had a song called Cali Girls. If you go back and listen, I mean, that was it.
Well, I never seen you two shut up so fast that we start talking about groupies. Man, your guys' testosterone.
Yeah, I got to go home tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
I know, man. Well, I mean, note to self: if you want to shut Moonshine, just talk about groupies. They both just clam up like a bunch of little bitches.
I think his wife.
You know, I'll tell you what though, it's like because I finally met my match with my wife. Like I could get around any other relationship, but I got a girl now that's like, she don't take shit. She didn't know who I was when she met me. She didn't know any of that.
You're saying is you could bamboozle all the other bitches, but you finally found one that called your ass out. That's what you meant to say.
Damn straight, bro. Like every morning I have to wake up.
He's scared of her. He's scared of her.
Yeah, every morning I got to check for a knife in my back.
Right, exactly. Hey, so listen. Great to meet you guys. We got a lot of friends in common, and I cannot wait to do more stuff with you guys. You guys are so grounded and so down to earth and just regular dudes. By the way, you can go to moonshinebandits.com. You can go to buckedupwhiskey.com. You can go to the Twitter, the Instagram, go to the YouTube, watch some of their stuff. They got great videos, over 200 million views. And guys, with with anything new that you got or a bottle signing or anything like that, man, we'd love to help you. I mean, we're huge fans, and we'd love to help you guys out.
Well, but we're gonna send a case of whiskey over to you. Okay.
All right.
Appreciate that,
Yeah,
I'll have Lummy get a hold of your guys' address and your shirt sizes and stuff like that, and we'll send you guys a little Bubba care pack if we could.
We love that. We love
You
that.
bet, man. We love to wear it, support it, and
Bubba Army, baby. Bubba Army.
Well,
bet.
Tex, keep Birdman. Well, I guess you don't got to worry about him. He's all married and stuff. But Tex, Tex, keep Birdman out of trouble if you can, my friend.
I'll try, brother.
All right,
You bet, man.
Good talking to you. We'll keep playing your music, and man, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, now, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Moonshine Bandits. You can get anything Moonshine Bandit related by going to moonshinebandits.com. Their whiskey, I guess, is that's what I'm most excited for. Let me just getting some of their whiskey.
Oh, me too.
I'll tell you that bird man. He I don't know, man. I don't know about that dude. he looks pretty rugged.
He looks a little pee-whipped right now, though.
Yeah. Thank God. You know what? Thank God his wife came in there and calmed him down a little bit because he was fixing to go to prison. I promise you that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he's a hot mess. He really, really is. Listen, let me get into some words, and much love to the Moonshine Bandits, and we'll come back with their new single with the Buck Cherry guy, Wild, okay?
Perfect.
Believe it or not,
Absolutely not.
everything you heard about him has been toned down for easier public acceptance. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.